95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE 95.9 FM, the most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area. Broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey, the most influential name in Caribbean radio, WZYE 95.9 FM.
I supported you since in the days of Eric Williams. I was there for you when you launched your founding programs. If you condemn racism and criticize ethnic hate as a national modicum in our Twin Island state, but it appears to be Papi show, because at that time was the format. You condone in Tobago because I won't support that. Now look how you're pelting me. Look how you're pelting me. Shame on you. Shame on you. It's you I support for years. Look how you have me shedding tears. Shame on you. Shame on you. You quote every Facebook blog. You treat me like a dog. The paper you paid me with make me feel like a lump of spit. Shame on you. Shame on you. Shame, shame, shame on you and you and you. Hey! Oh, yeah. I with you through thick and thin, never once did forsake you. Under pressure I would grin and sang things that I would rue. Do you remember when Calder Heart was the apple of your eye that pierced my heart like a dart? But loyally I stood by. I used to campaign for you right through. Many days there in Port of Spain, I waved my valise for you, and for you my finger I stain. Now look how you're pelting me. Look how you're pelting me. Shame on you. Shame on you. This roti and orange skin you took up from my dustbin. Shame on you. Shame on you. Not even my King Kobo ought to be treated so. You did that as if to say, snake in the valleys. Shame on you. Shame on you. I say shame, shame, shame on you and you and you. Hey! Oh. People came from Grenada and you treated them so nice. Guyana and Jamaica, they see here as paradise. For years I ain't say nothing because of my love for you. On those things I did not sing, nor offer that point of view. Plenty cash was going down the drain on that stadium in Toruba. Never once I ever complained, but one song I sang for Kamla. Now look how you're pelting me. Look how you're pelting me. Shame on you. Shame on you. Some of your people do worse than that and end up with a pocket fat. Shame on you. Shame on you. I never knew that you would be so. I must say you're worse than Jim Crow. You set up Johnny and Mark to help me in Skinner Park. Shame on you. Shame on you.
and I'm asking, is Pharaoh still existing? I see the poor resembling an Israelite, not being treated right, enslaved day and night. Oh, we just can't go on this way. We just can't go on this way. Please deliver us today. We just
Yes, 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 yes. Let me say a special hello to all the WZYE 95.9 FM listeners, and of course, ladies and gentlemen, you're seeing us with a different background tonight. We are having a little technical difficulties in the studios, but the show must go on. The show must go on, regardless of the background. The show must go on. The show must go on. Let me say a special welcome to all the WZYE 95.9 FM listeners. It's in the village with the DAG Triplets on WZYE 95.9 FM. And of course, going to be joining us at some point in time tonight is no other than the Storm, Waveney, Diana Benskin. And let me say a welcome to the Phantom. Gary, how are you going?
Oh, good night, good night. Good night,
Yeah,
everybody.
yeah, we're having a little bit of technical difficulties in the studio, but that's all right. You know, I mean, the thing start anyway. The thing start. Takesha was inside. I see Takesha was inside very early tonight. Rose is already inside. Rose, welcome. Um, Takesha was inside about 5 something, but early o'clock. Cheese stick. Good night to you as well, my friend. Good night, good night. Nuts cake. Greetings, partner. Greetings, greetings. Hey, all have a lot of rain down there, right? Cheese stick here. Good night, good night, good night, good night. The Hurricane Larry already passed us, not as yet. Curtis Montrestrad, boy, straight out of Chumaka, Claventil. And Rose, I am doing fantabulous, thank you. I cannot complain. I actually just returned from Maryland. So it's a pleasure to be back here in New Jersey. So Gary, how are you doing, Gary?
All right, so far, I mean, I managed to make it home. I mean, the wind
Mm,
stopped just in time for me to make it home, even though the rain was still coming heavy. I mean, there was 6 inches of water on the ground when I had to step off where I was working.
mm,
And I mean, I took the back roads, try to get up high up the hills and kind of divert my way. But I got there safely with no issues. But I mean, seeing the damages throughout New Jersey and New York, and realizing that one of the person killed in New York is a close friend and
mm,
um, child and children, that was killed in New York. That mother and son is somebody that
yeah,
I
yeah,
know from while growing up, and
yeah.
so that kind of hit home. And then I got home and got some bad news of one of my childhood friend died from COVID out in Arizona.
Oh,
There,
yeah.
he's
Mm-hmm,
a doctor.
mm-hmm,
So
mm-hmm.
yeah, so it's been a rough few days, but But hey, listen, Trinidad got hit really bad by this storm, man. This is coming our way. This is going through Bermuda, and
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna take a turn and come our way, just like how Sandy came our way. So we have to watch out.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. She
Yeah,
stick say the cyclone form around my house and think I was frightened, boy. That thing, joke, boy.
it rip off a lot of people roofs, man. Mash
Yeah,
up their house in Trinidad. Yeah.
I see something, Um, I see something happen there, boy. I ain't gonna lie to you, partner. I saw that thing ain't easy at all, boy. It was a really, really difficult, a lot of difficulties, you know what I mean? In Trinidad and Tobago, you know?
I mean, and that's
So,
just a few days after we got hit over here.
mhm.
But
Yeah,
you
but
notice the angle how this storm came, unusual direction. These things never came while we were growing up in Trinidad. These things never came in these directions that they're coming now.
mhm,
I mean, you more see things pass. I mean, close as Grenada for the most, but coming from an
mhm,
opposite direction from South America, hitting us from the western side.
mhm.
That we got hit lopsided down. You know.
Yeah, and no joke, man, no joke.
Yeah.
I think, but we have to be careful, and we have to pay close attention, because if you don't pay close attention, we Chinese already.
We
You
take
know
things
he's
for
already.
granted. We take things for
Yeah,
granted.
yeah, yeah. You go say, hey, don't worry about that, man. There's a big storm coming. You
Yeah,
understand?
yeah,
And
yeah.
and then take care of, yeah, yeah. We go coming up with some videos and things. We had some roof blown off. We had all kind of thing going off. It was a very difficult time, in Trinidad and Tobago. A very difficult time, and I think, Gary, we could say that global part of it has to be global warming, man. You know, we can't blame the rivers. We can't blame flooding. Part of it have to be global warming.
It
You know.
is global warming. It's we're dealing with a serious global warming issue. I mean, you've seen 8 and 10 inches of rain being dumped in one shot within in a couple of hours, and that's not easy to deal with. The infrastructure is not prepared. I mean, even in Trinidad, I mean, it's worse off because we never prepare anything.
Mm.
We just kind of went along, go along kind of way. Anybody want to throw up a house, you throw it there, and there was no planning, with the infrastructure. I mean, so I mean, and even though we try to reason to them, to kind of, let's do this. I mean, you remember with me with this disaster planning stuff and
Mm.
trying to, after Brett to try to get them to do certain things. I mean, they took some ideas, but they still didn't want to communicate. I mean, I got people from the U.S. to help them. Even the United States Embassy has a program that they assist Trinidad with training, disaster, and the military and everything. But how much do we follow through? How much do we really supply these corporations and regions with with equipment and supply? I mean, you have a few NGOs that really participate, but you need more people on board. This thing is real. It's serious, and we need to prepare our individual communities to make sure they have supplies to assist people and being trained with first aid skills to assist people before the ambulance can reach. We need those kind of things being done in Trinidad. In the USA, we have volunteers. I'm sure in your town where you live, you have volunteers in the first aid squad.
Yeah, 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 yeah. We have a lot of volunteers. Everybody, it's a big thing about volunteerism here in New Jersey, and I don't know what they have in Trinidad, but we have
Well,
a lot of people who just volunteer.
I got about through Christine when she came. Well, no, she came up and met the guy that I was trying to introduce to, but she got 120 people, which included police and teachers who were interested, and we couldn't get any support from the government to move forward with it.
Mm.
I mean, so people are interested. There's a lot of people interested in it, but
Mm.
I was sharing the concept like what we do here.
Mm.
That you happen to be. I mean, look, we got people getting shot so many times, accident happening, and nobody can help. Everybody's standing around, kind of helpless, waiting for an ambulance whenever it get there. So we need to change this concept and an idea and get more serious in investing, not just the government, the people, the businesses, to show some interest in learning how to help ourselves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but are we really serious in Trinidad and Tobago? Let's take a quick look at this here, guys.
No, man, this is not the only house, eh? The other houses all up the road. We'll get damaged. I did what? Everything went. run out and she run in the bedroom in front of it and daughter get up too. So when I open the door, I see the roof out in the road. We trying to go outside, but the breeze was so strong, it pushed me back inside. Because we're looking to leave the roof because the roof sort of pelt away, And we didn't know the roof gone, It can happen so quick. Well, and the noise we had, I can't even explain that noise, that type of noise. So we didn't know if it was an earthquake at once. Then we realized it was a storm in a quick thing. And we do out in the road, you see the roof out in the road.
So when you look around, boy, how you just feel?
So what you do? You see the night?
Yeah, my car fall down. So you
You think it's easy, man? It ain't easy,
Well, look at that. Just imagine that happening to you. Where you going to run when your roof, takes off like that? But what I'm looking at the roof, answer, you notice they haven't properly anchored that roof.
Correct. I saw that. That's absolutely correct. But Gary, really and truly, when we doing roof hunting in Trinidad, we just do roof kind of different. You know what I mean? We don't do roof
You see
like how
one
we
piece of BRC sticking out the steel there, was a quarter-inch steel maybe sticking out there, and they tie the roof with that. That's only one thing here and there. I mean, come on. I saw my father did things differently when he was building our house, I mean, he really put some steel from the foundation when he cast the foundation and pulled it all the way up through the blocks. And then there's stick a little steel there. This came from the foundation, the root. So he pulled steel from the root all the way up,
But them people and them trying to do the best with what they know. You know what I mean? And to them, that's the best they know, man.
Well, the thing about we never get no big thing down there anyway. I mean, look when I came to the States here, I used to thunder and lightning, and I went down with my sister in Florida. Right? I sit thunder and lightning, that's no big deal. Man, this thing blasts so hard, I fall off my chair. I never seen anything so loud, So I mean, it's a different thing. We never used to anything really serious, So I mean, we get in these kind of things now, It's a change world, and we have to make the adjustments.
But I have to say, let's look at another one here real quick.
So tell me your name and tell us the events that took place here this morning.
Yes, good morning. Well, name is Bola Maharaj, and well, you could see what's going on here this morning around 12:30 to 1 o'clock. I just woke up with this big loud noise. When I run down, I see my whole roof just lift off and just gone up in the air. So I run for safety. I run. A little while after, the slide up blow out. But if you think what the slide on the ground means, slide up blow out. When the air full up inside the house, the slide up blow out, and well, it fly on my car, which my car caused they damage up my car windscreen and the windows and things. So all I saying, I just need somebody to help me. I need some help from the government or somebody to help me fix back my roof, because I spend all my savings in the house there. Everything that I have, I save it and fix my roof and watch my house there. And that was no hurricane. That was a tornado. Because to me, how I see that thing blow up that roof, hurricane don't operate like that. Watch that. That's 30 feet beam, iron beam, strapped down on the house. Watch that. Watch how them beam and them down.
So any authorities came and visited you?
Yeah, well, the councillor came and he visited us, and we had a visitor from the TTT. And they say, well, the people from the disaster management will come and visit me and thing. And I don't ask for them. All I ask for is some assistance to just help me, and take down that shed there, because it's a hazard there too. It could slip down from there anytime. You see how it come up there, next thing it slip down there and damage somebody. But it was real scary. It was a real scary thing to experience. I never thought I'd see something like that.
Hilton.
You live here alone or anybody else?
Yeah, well, I'm a single parent. My daughter and them just be with me now and then and back and forth, and things. Luckily, it was just me alone home last night. when it happened.
What were you doing at the time? Were you
I was sleeping. I was just woke up by the noise when I hear the loud noise. Probably that is when the coconut tree fall down. And when I get up, I hear a next noise. When I run down, my stairs is inside my house. When I run down, I just see the whole piece of roof just lift off and just gone up in the air. Bounce the piece on top, it's just foot level, and start to mash up that piece going back. So I thought, well, I couldn't believe it. I thought it's only movie you'll see them thing.
Sad, no boy.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah,
look at
man.
another.
We are on Root Brown Avenue off Warden Road, Southern Gardens, Point 14, where house was completely damaged.
So tell me the name and tell us the events that took.
We are on Root Brown Avenue off Warden Road, Southern Gardens, Point 14, where house was completely damaged.
Rollins Fino.
What was that?
Rollins Fino.
Could you tell me what happened here this morning?
Well, about approximately 1:15 around there. This morning I get up with a little weather, breeze and rain and things come through, but through my windows and things. By the time I walk back to head into my bedroom, the whole roof began to rise off the house. You could see, well, the roof on that side there, and partition started to fall down inside with the sun breeze. I alone at the time was home.
How many how many of you live in here?
Four of us.
Your wife and two children?
Yeah, two children.
Well, nobody was injured?
No, nobody was injured. I alone was in the house, and where I positioned myself between the door, bedroom and drawing room. When the partition fall, and then nothing touched me. Nothing touched me, anything. Because the roof, as I said, the roof already flied off the house. Breeze from this side and head back to that side. Then the breeze had to carry down the partition. It took a couple of seconds. So I thank God for not getting damaged or hurt anyway. In any case.
Wherever to salvage, we'll salvage, and we'll do that. We'll move it away from you.
Okay.
So I just spoke to Mr. Alan, so you come here, sir.
No problem.
Nice. Okay, so
Mr. People aware that approximately just after 1 this morning we had some severe weather. Apparently it was a cluster of thunderstorms that came with high wind has affected many people show the stuff in terms of their roofs. And some houses actually flat after the little bit of patch.
Wow. You have an idea how many houses?
Well, we still assessing the total, but the numbers rising by the minute based on the calls that I've been getting. I know that the mayor has also been receiving calls, the disaster management unit. So calls have been going to my office as well. So probably by this afternoon we'll have a figure in total as to how much people are.
Can you give us a preliminary estimate? It was 10, 12.
Well, so far, based on the calls, I would say it's upwards of 30.
30.
Upwards of 30. Upwards of 30. But I think that is a modest total as we speak. This morning I was out after 3, or maybe after 2, after 3 with one of the councillors in the Harris, and we initially thought it was just about 10, 12, but
we are on Root Brown Avenue.
You think it's easy, boy? It ain't easy, Man, it ain't easy at all, man.
But just imagine you try to run, right? And galvanize, sheet of galvanize come flying in your direction or some kind of debris. You really can't run. Where you running to go? Your roof gone, you try to run out, something flying there, you're in danger either way. You don't know which way to go. You see that electricity.
Right, go ahead, Gary. Go ahead.
Yeah, see some electricity wire and all them things rip up too. There's a lot of danger there. All over the place.
3-6. There's another one behind Larry starting to develop in Africa right now. What boy? Albert Montano, good night. Darren Legal as well, good night. Let me see. So tonight, folks, Tommy's going to be joining us late, and I think Dana is going to be joining us because she's at the spoken word contest there in Chicago. So she might be joining us late as well. Let me say welcome to Queen. We all know who Queen is. Dara Legal, welcome. Albert Montano, welcome. Let me see who else is in here. Queen.
Who is Queen, Ansem?
I think Queen is Caris.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay,
cheesesteak. Move of the time, people just build their house in a wrong direction, plus having too much excess roof. That does cause their roof to fly out. Too much design and roof does cause that. Okay. But you know them people trying to save money too, eh? To Keisha inside. Daryl Legal. Hey, Daryl joined us before, right? Not Cake, you're inside, boy. Yeah, but this bad weather, it ain't easy, you know, and they have another set of weather coming soon, you know, boy. Wolverine, you're inside, boy. Attacks. You're inside. Yeah, boy. She's taking no joke, you know, boy. A lot of weird things going on in the world today, you know. Wolverine, you're inside. Yeah, boy. A lot of weird things going on, boy. Tommy Muhammad, you're inside. Right? Albert Montano says, I was a counselor for 9 years and Trinidad never had a plan for any kind of weather or natural disaster. All you get is talk. Yeah, because, but listen to this, when people, Queen say, Rowley should be the one going and interviewing people if he cared for the citizens. Okay, Queen. Queen say, Rowley should be going and interviewing. Wolverine, how you know that's how gonna be a cardboard house and the house still standing and the roof gone? How is that a cardboard house? The people didn't do the roof properly in Trinidad. Wait now, Troy Smith. Is this Troy Smith first time? Troy Smith, is this? I don't think this is Troy Smith first time, right, Gary? I think Troy Smith, where are you joining us from? Just let us know. Chris Watson. I don't think this is Chris Watson and Troy Smith. Where you guys joining us from? Chris Watson says you could build a mountain, but if Mother Nature comes for it, what can you do? Don't blame design. So sad. Well, you know, that is true, you know. Chris, I want to agree with you because, you know, Gary, you could have 5 sump pump in your basement, right? And if that water decides to come in the basement, all the sump pump go do is pump it out. You know, people that have French drains in their basement too, right? Drains that run all around the basement. So if any water is supposed to come in, it's supposed to go in the French drain, and then the sump pump supposed to pump it out. That's what's supposed to happen. But in Trinidad and Tobago, do we have something called sump pump in Trinidad? We really don't have basements in Trinidad, right? I don't think we have any basements in Trinidad, do we? Somebody put in the chat, do our houses built with basements in Trinidad? I don't think so, you know. Yeah. Thanks, Queen. So let's say hello to Chris Watson, man. Come on, man. You're falling down on the job, you know. Right? Yeah. I don't think we have basements in Trinidad, eh? So when people build in house, like man, I just had I'm having my basement renovated now. You know, and there's about, let me see, 1, 2, 3. I think there's 4 sump pumps in my basement. Cheesesteak say no, only a few who have money to waste. Why is that wasted money though? Because it will flood? Is that what it is? Queen says no answer. 3 stories. So in Trinidad, always go up. But you know, when I grew up in Chumakak, we never get no flood in Chumakak, you know. I never get no flood in Chumakak. Never right? we, we never get no fun in Chumakak. So I know the water that used to run down the road. Hey, Rajvi, welcome. Rajvi say, well, should they go ban it just now? Don't waste your money. Don't waste your money on what, a basement? Or Choice Smith say from by the tamarind tree in Laventer? Oh, you remember that tamarind tree, boy? We used to get real tamarind from that tree, you know, in Laventer, right? Troy, yeah, all right, Troy. Troy say by the tamarind tree, boy. Gary, you ever get tamarind in Trinidad? Chris
Yeah, man.
Watson says, far too long Trinidadians take the weather for granted because all believe gold is a Trini, and by time to open your eyes. Chris, that no joke, you know. I know that people in Trinidad that you tell them a storm coming, right? When the storm come and do once, tell them all you get out of the way, do what you're supposed to do, secure your place, secure your windows, everything, right? When the storm come and blow out windows and all kind of things, you know people that say, boy, if I didn't really know the storm was that serious, if I didn't really the storm was that dangerous, I would have do it, you know. Even though they tell you to do it. Boy, we are creatures of habit in Trinidad and Tobago. Tommy Mohammed is right. These beams are important, but they must be done properly. People, you know, in this country here, right? When you fishing, when you go and renovate, even if you're building a house, the inspectors will come to your house about 10 times before the house finished. Different inspector, the electrical inspector to come, the plumbing inspector to come, right? The housing inspector to come. All the inspectors that come and inspect the house. Yeah? But in Trinidad, what they do, they pay up the inspector for them not to come. And when a storm come and certain things happen, people get vexed and blame other people. Queen says, when the storm almost knows Diana come, opening the gate. Oh God! When that storm Diana come here, all you have to open all your gate, all your window, all your everything, you know. Because, you know, she will huff and she will puff. All right. That's all I'm going to say. She's 60 and Slim, they already want tax. We for living above land. Now we go get tax for living. Oh God. How about us following the code, right? And build our houses properly. How about that? Rather than cutting corners. Especially when we have this kind of serious storm. Raj, we say renovating your basement. Yeah, renovating your basement. You know, I mean, yeah, you had to renovate your basement, man. You had to make sure. Queen said times change. Well, times changing in truth, you know. Now, let me ask you all a question. I asked you all a question, right? So, and I'm going to use myself as an example. Gary, I'm going to use myself as
I'm listening. Go ahead. I'm listening.
Yeah, I'm going to use myself as an example, right? Now, let me put this up. Let me put this up before I give my example. I want to put this up. Yeah. Albert boy, in Trinidad, you pass money and house approved boy. The inspector ain't coming back at all. That is it. Queen State cheese sticks, we might have to build like the Hobbit. People building house all over the place. They're going up in the mountain and building house like crazy. And landslide, all kind of thing, and thing coming down. All kind of thing coming down. Let me see. Did I put up this one, boy? Okay, I'm trying to get this one slide that I have here. Here we go. And this is now, this is the great boxer Oscar De La Hoya. He has been hospitalized with COVID-19. Right? Great boxer. Oscar De La Hoya has been hospitalized with COVID-19. Now, let me say this. I don't believe that anybody should impose vaccination on a society. Right? I don't believe you should impose it and tell a person, well, if you can't take it, you can't go in this restaurant. Or if you take it and you go in the restaurant, we go separate vaccinated from non-vaccinated. And I'll give you guys an example. I just came from Maryland, right? And we had to go and eat in different restaurants. We went and eat in restaurants. And basically, nobody asks for no vaccination card. Nobody asks if you're vaccinated or if you're unvaccinated. Nobody asks if you take the jab. We went into quite a few stores. Nobody asks us, well, but you vaccinated, you not vaccinated? Because is it vaccine discrimination? So I'm vaccinated, right? And I really don't have a problem. Me personally don't have a problem with people who are not vaccinated. And the school that I teach at, they tell us that all of us must be vaccinated. And all of the students who are now back in school must be vaccinated, right? So like in my class, right, there's 31 students, right? 31 students in different classes that I have. And they all must be vaccinated. And not only that, they all must wear a mask while they're in class, right? And that's the rules the school put on, right? I didn't make the rules. The school made the rules. What do you guys think about that, right? Are you for? Are you against? You know, do you feel they shouldn't be imposing mandatory vaccination on a person? I mean, should kids who are non-vaccinated be in a class with kids who are vaccinated? What do you think, Gary?
Well, I have a few issues. Number one, if you vaccinated, does that mean that you will not be able to transmit COVID to anybody else?
Well, okay. So what they're saying is that people who are vaccinated can still get COVID-19.
And they can still transmit it too.
Right? So I would think that if you could get COVID-19 vaccinated, you will be able to transmit it to someone else. That's what I would think.
Right, exactly. So, I am supporting the idea of keeping the mask on and following all the protocols of prevention beside the vaccine. Also, I mean, I'm not telling you not to take the vaccine or to take the vaccine. What I'm saying to you is, if you're vaccinated or not, still maintain the protocols of wearing the mask, the sanitizing, washing everything. That's I say stick to that. What I see happening again in Trinidad is like a kind of dictatorship again and again with everything. Is a buff and a smack around, and if you don't do it, like you talking to, you're not showing any respect as a leader to the citizens. You're just kind of like acting like a slave master. And at some point, people's gonna retaliate against you if you keep acting like that.
But Gary, don't your boy Gary buff people too? I'm just asking.
Did he buff people?
Does he buff people too?
I'm sure if you give him a smart kind of questions there, he might come a little hard on you. But I've never seen him buff anybody. He made his point. He has made his point. But okay. I never seen him really. I never noticed it. Maybe it has been done. I'm sure he must have buffed somebody in the force under his.
No, not in the force. Outside of the force, like if you're in a press conference or something.
I can't really recollect. I can't say yes or no. I have to really. My mind
all right,
is a little,
no problem.
Yeah,
no problem.
Maybe I missed it.
Go ahead.
Maybe I missed it. So he has been a little aggressive in some things because he had to step up. Because people are trying to.
So Rajri says Wall Street Hurricane Larry might be heading We side also. Queen Diana is in the spoken word contest in Chicago, so she's competing there, and I think she said she's gonna try and call in later. She's gonna try and connect with us later. Tommy Mohammed says that is tongue and country supposed to pass your billing if it's up to code, but that's if it's up to code, they do they? But do they pass your bill if it's not up to code?
But answer it's not just the building, you know. First of all, the houses there's no site preparation. You understand? And a site preparation is where you prepare the place with drainage and I mean you lay down the electricity and all the different utilities. You know what I mean? So I mean houses were built in Trinidad. Most of the places houses were just thrown up. There was no site preparation. I mean, you'll see some development with site preparation, now here and there, but there was no real site preparation. So houses, no matter what codes you build the house on, in Trinidad and Tobago, if there's no proper structure around it with drainage and everything, you're still going to have issues.
But Gary, that's why the system in Trinidad needs to change with respect to different communities. Like, for example, right, we live in Essex County, right? Where I live, right, we have the township will send people, if you go to proper house, and not only that, if you think you go do something illegal, they have inspectors driving around to see if you do any renovation to your house, and you don't have a permit in front of your house on your front door. If you don't have a permit on your front door, inspectors will come and knock on your door. Where's your permit? You're doing renovation in the house. Where's your permit? These are
and
the
neighbor will
type of
call
things.
on you too.
Huh?
And then the neighbor will call on you too.
But Gary, that truth and power, hear this one, right? So we was doing some renovations to the house, right? And so there's the outside door and then there's the inside door, and the permit was on the inside door and you really couldn't see it. You know, they call the inspector, right? The inspector show up at the front door and he asked us, he says, when somebody call and says, you guys didn't have a permit. We say, well, let me permit right there. He says, well, I know I saw it there, but they say you guys didn't have it. What the neighbors and them just didn't see that we had a permit. And then they call the township, right? But we didn't mind because the neighbors making sure that we do what we're supposed to do. Not only that, Gary, we had a dumpster in front of the house, right? Because we was doing a lot of renovations, right? You know, they call they call the inspector and tell them we had the dumpster in front of the house too long. You know, the inspector show up at the front door again and told us, well, listen, you have to move that dumpster. And we had to tell the contractor, you have to move it. And you have to move it, or it is a fine. But in Trinidad, if you implement that, Trinidad will say, you want to tax poor people? All they want to do is to tax poor people, tax poor people. That's all they want to do, right? Or they go in Westmoreland and do this. All you know is, but that keeps us all in check. Ellis says, good evening, people. Wall Street, we could call on the citizens to do the right thing. However, when you walk through Port of Spain, buildings touching each, so if a fire starts, all buildings gone. And Ellis, it should be for everybody. It shouldn't be just for the small person. It should be for everybody, right? But what happens is that the highfalutin people go pay off town and country, the inspector, and the inspector will give them a blight. While the other people can't pay off the inspector, right? So the inspector got to come and do what he has to do. But that would happen anyway. That could happen right here in America. That's all over. That's all over, right? What they say? Who are more corn feed more fowl? That's what they say.
But
is that what they say on it?
Yeah. What I'm looking at, right? Beside the building codes, I mean, we have to do some dredging, even here in the U.S., even where I live here, in New Jersey too. I mean, there has to be some dredging where you prepare because you're not getting a normal level of rainfall. You know, I mean, you're getting 5 times the amount of rainfall that usually take place. So the present structure is not prepared to deal with that. You know, so we have to do some dredging, whether it's Trinidad and Tobago or the United States. You know, I mean, you know, it has to be done. I mean, excessive amount of water, if a riverbank bursts, I mean, there's no way you can contain that. In Trinidad, we have lacked the to maintain the river and to do the dredging and cleaning. But I mean, you're seeing some rainfall here, like the Mississippi River. If that overflow, you know, I mean, there's no way you stopping that water, you know. But again, we could do some things. Like I made some suggestions in the U.S. about same thing, containing the water. We have parts of the U.S. that cannot get water, and you have Louisiana over flooding, in which you could pipe some of that water if you properly contain it and start to redirect the water. But you have to put things in place. I mean, we spend a lot of money in the Middle East. I mean, billions and billions of dollars that could have been used for infrastructure here. You know, but you know, I mean, we also spending money bad here in the U.S. all over the place.
But Gary, Tommy, welcome. How are you going, Tommy?
Quite good, my friends. Quite good. And I'm listening as you see. But I'm driving. In a minute I'll start driving.
All right, no problem. Yeah. So you see what, Lana, welcome. What has to happen in Trinidad and Tobago? I'm a citizen of Trinidad and Tobago. The citizens of Trinidad and Tobago have to want change and not exchange. To me, in Trinidad and Tobago, a lot of us want exchange instead of change. We really don't want real change, you know. Because when real change come, boy, no, we don't want that. We want exchange. So we have to decide. We have to really decide, boy. We have to decide. Tommy Mohammed says proper building codes was not followed in Port of Spain, so it seemed that Tongan country took a bribe to pass these buildings. And I don't know if somebody could confirm this to me. What? Mardog said next thing what? Mardog, I know what that one is now.
You remember Mayor of Port of Spain was saying he only has 2 inspectors?
But Gary, think about this now, Gary. We're not serious. We're not serious. For the whole of Port of Spain, you have 2 inspectors, two.
And them didn't feel that in the history of independence, they didn't feel that it was necessary for the last 59 years to improve and increase the staff in there to handle the issues. That's why things are way that. I mean, in the mayor of Port of Spain was very. I mean, I think he was very honest with us and very straightforward on things. You know, he didn't beat around the bush. He tell us the truth as it is. You know, so I admire him for that. You know, so there's a lot of things has to be put in place. You know, the Bible talks about putting new wine in old bottles, and it seems like we doing that kind of stuff.
Gary, we don't want change. We want exchange. We really and truly don't want change. Albert Montano says, and some the regulation for development fall under Tongan country, but this agency is not doing their job. That's all I just say about Tongan country. They ain't doing their job.
But Tongan country falls under who? Not the Minister of Planning?
Yeah, the Minister of Planning.
Yeah.
The Minister of Planning. Tommy Mohammed says the system can change, but the right people must be put in these organizations. Correct. Right? We are wrong pegs in square holes. I put it opposite earlier. We are wrong pegs in square holes. That's what it is. Let me say good night to Lana as well again. Lana.
Tommy says something.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Say Tommy, say something. Where is that?
He's driving.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But you see, nobody in chat and talk about whether they believe Queen says, I wish her best of luck. Yeah, we all wish her best of luck. You know, she could handle she own. This storm ain't easy. Or we asked about mandatory vaccination, right? right? It's a big issue in Trinidad and Tobago. And we ask you all, what you all think, right? Yeah, boy, run missing in action. Yeah, my boy. I feel he's sitting down in the corner tonight. He ain't gonna show up tonight. I feel he gonna show up tonight. What? Dave, welcome, Dave, welcome. Welcome. You know, the MP for Dave is the MP for Oropouche what? Oropouche West. Gary?
Yeah, he's in
Anyway,
the chat.
yeah, Dave in the chat, man. Dave said people must be held accountable for positions they hold and paid to do. Correct is right. Correct is right. We have
See
to
if you have a
start.
few minutes to join us. See if you have a few minutes to join us.
Send him the text. Send him the text. Text him. Send him the text. Yeah, we have to start holding people accountable. Not say mandatory vaccines is against principles of democracy. But does the government have the right under a state of emergency to do that? Maybe Dave could answer that. Does the government under a state of emergency, right, or a pandemic, not a state of emergency, under a pandemic, have the right to do that? Do they? Now, look at this other one here, right? Let me get this other one here. Hold on. We received a 1 million US loan from the IDB, right? And this loan appears to be more for small businesses, $1 million. So that is about 650. That is about $1 million is about, let me say 7 million TT, right? So who is really going to benefit from this $1 million loan, this IDB loan? Who's going to really benefit? I mean, and who oversees the distribution of that money from that loan? I mean, these are things, these are things people should want to know. And let's say what? Did who make COVID-19 vaccines mandatory worldwide? I don't know now. Ellis says, bribes, kickback, grease on. Once the price is right, you could get anything in Trinidad and Tobago. She's 60. Most of those WASA workers never even fix a pipe, but they have work to deal with pipe and water. Tommy Howard says no to mandatory vaccination. Lana say, Tommy go in the supermarket or what? Tommy, I want a snack, eh? Tommy, Lana says she want a snack, partner.
Dave say you'll join us around 9 o'clock.
Okay, no problem. Yeah, all right. Yeah, so this is questions. So let's listen to our next one. So I think we in Trinidad and Tobago, right? We have to stand up for what is right. And I think many times we stand up for party as opposed to what's right for the country. Until we are gonna stand up for country, we're gonna continue to get exchange instead of getting change. That's my belief.
The thing you and I have been facing a lot is that when we try to say something from outside here, is all you living out there, and we live in here, and you try to team up with them to work with them, and you're not getting any kind of collaboration. You're getting more competition and collaboration.
Woo. My dog and them going My dog only going a little too deep for me, but that one, boy. Ansem, Lana says, Ansem, don't talk numbers. When I hear millions and billions, I just feel to drink a Guinness. Don't, is that right? Drink a Guinness, man. Drink a Guinness. Drink a Guinness. Drink a Guinness. It's all right to drink a Guinness, right? So, all right. So let's hear the Prime Minister on the budget 2022. Let's hear what he has to say.
Preparation is underway for the presentation of the 2022 national budget. Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley said the budget presentation will be one with a difference as the government focuses on positioning the country adequately in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic and beyond. He noted that the newly formed Ministry of Digital Transformation, headed by Minister Hassel Bacchus, will take center stage in this transformation.
It's approach that a lot of the problems that we are wanting to address in the short, medium, and long term can be attended to by us moving to the way we do, to change the way we do business, the way we keep records, the way we respond to the population, and that is all about data collection, data manipulation, and data use.
The Prime Minister said this will include improving the digital capabilities of all government ministries. He was speaking at today's post-cabinet media briefing in Tobago.
You know, out of that, what kind of struck me? What is data manipulation? What does data manipulation means? You know what I mean? Because I work. Ooh. What boy? We passed that. Anyway, folks, it's in the village with the DAG Triplets on WZYE 95.9 FM. We come to you every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday from 7 to 9 p.m. We're going to go for a quick station identification. And when we come back, we're going to pick up that data manipulation issue. We'll be right back.
You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE 95.9 FM, the most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area. Broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey, the most influential name in Caribbean radio, WZYE 95.9 FM.
So we are back with you. It's in the village with the DAG Triplets and WZYE 95.9 FM. Of course, we come to you every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday from 7 to 9 p.m. That's Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday from 7 to 9 p.m. So I worked at the New York Stock Exchange, right? And one of the things we had to look for was market manipulation. And when you are looking for market manipulation, is that someone is trying to manipulate the market or manipulate a stock in order to benefit themselves, right? For example, right, if I own 100,000 shares of a stock and I pay $2 for that stock and I want to manipulate the market, I want to move the market from $2 to that stock to $3. So I'm going to do some sort of small trades to see if I can move the stock in order to benefit myself. And if the stock goes from $2 to $3, I have 100,000 shares. I can then liquidate that 100,000 shares, and make $100,000 as an example. So when I hear data manipulation, I really trying to figure out, is that meaning manipulate the data for it to show what you needed to show? I'm just trying to find out. I'm just asking.
I see it the same way.
I'm just asking.
Yeah.
So my dog says, manipulating data, I will say, is a trial and error process they're referring to get a definite answers. So basically, they are changing the variables till it's suitable because.
Listen, we saw them manipulating the data, right? With the Chinese citizens, right? How many people outside, how many people really, home, and how many people got help and all this, and they manipulated the data, right?
So, but what do you mean manipulating it? Could it be? No, I just can't. No, I couldn't figure that out. I really couldn't figure that one out.
We got the Senate invite to the Prime Minister, let him explain himself.
Yeah. I think we had to find out what does that mean. Now, Skate say, who is a private corrupt corporation? They can't mandate any country to do anything. Who give the budget? Lana asked who give the budget, the PM or the Minister of Finance? I think the Minister of Finance. I think it's the Minister of Finance.
Did you notice based on the data that he have now, they're going to adjust the budget. He's going to instruct the Minister of Finance to address the issues that was that we experienced with COVID. So what does that mean? People are going to get more help?
So that again, Gary?
But the Prime Minister said based on what we experienced with the COVID situation, he's going to instruct the Minister of Finance to to address the issues in relation to COVID.
Okay.
So I'm just wondering, based on what we experienced in the last year, that the government is paying attention now that all the noise we made, that people not getting help, maybe they're going to relook themselves and see how they handle things and improve it.
Well. I think that's what a lot of us are hoping for, in that finally the help actually trickles down to the people who actually needs it, and needs it immediately. Needs it sooner rather than later. Ellis says Wall Street, the White House. Who organization did make it mandatory? So I will make hungry mouth P&M for me. Never, and I stand by that. Ellis, I don't understand that one. I don't understand that one. My dog says something here that I really can't read. My dog says something I can't really read. Yeah, Nutskick say oh Ellis is a comedian, man. You see that? No, when I read the comments, okay. All right. Queen said, Chris Watson, you understand data manipulation? Oh, my dog said, but Ansem, that is my opinion. Yeah, my dog, I know that is your opinion, but certain things I have to be careful reading on here. You know what I mean? So that is all. Put it in the chat. And if you want, I can put it up on the screen. I'll put it up on the screen. But I don't have to read it. Just for safety precautions. That is all. Right? Alice says, Wall Street, this Rowley had a plan and something telling me that he hate P&M for what happened to him when Manon was his boss. Manipulate to make people take tax. Okay. Tommy Mohammed says, Trinidad answer, wake up before it's too late. We are not a communist state, but a democratic one. Alice says, help from the P&M. Haha, big committee. Well, I mean, is the P&M in power? Who do we get help from? Nutskake says, yes, we are forced to not show our disagreement by protesting against mandatory vaccine like the rest of the Caribbean. Undemocratic. Much. Queen
Slim.
says, ask Chris Watson. Go ahead, Tommy.
Yeah, well, thanks for taking my call. Not my call, but allowing me to speak. I'm sorry to be a little bit late. And Lana, I got your snack. Your snack is right in front of me. But the data manipulation, I don't know if I ever told you that I was a software programmer from 1974 to 1985. I wrote COBOL and assembly, assembly language. And we used to manipulate data when we in the testing mode, when we developing systems. We manipulated the data to present all the different scenarios that we could think about will present themselves to us when we go live. That's what the manipulation of data brings to mind. But other than that, you want real situations. You don't want to manipulate the data conveniently. You want real life situations. But maybe it's something new. I don't know. But the systems I worked on today, they call them heritage systems, because we set the platforms for what has become of data processing, or should I say IT as they call it today.
But Tommy, do you think that maybe that manipulation wasn't the right word to be used though?
Yeah, it's a misquote, it's a misquote or something of sorts. It seems to
Yeah,
me.
because I listened to it and I said data manipulation, boy. You know,
We have to excuse the presenter, because if you just don't know, or should I say that sometimes they just say things, some things the wrong way, but we have to excuse it and overlook it and just keep it moving.
but no, but then we could be excusing. You see, then again, Tommy, we go get exchange instead of getting change.
All of that.
Because
But
to me, yeah, when I heard it, I said data manipulation, boy. I said that just don't sound right. Even you mean something else, right? Even though you try to mean, even if you mean something positive, right? Putting manipulation after data, right? It just doesn't sound good.
no, it doesn't. For those who know better, it doesn't sound good. But you have to realize that sometimes it's just an ignorant. When I mean ignorant, I mean not knowing better
Or
statement.
you cannot know better. Maybe somebody wrote it for him and give it to him and he just read it.
Well, I don't know. I
Lana
don't know.
says, Gary, people not going to get more help. They're going to bring the tax and food prices will go up. More taxi fares gone up since last month by Route 2 Taxi Association.
Sometimes you just can't read into things, into everything that you hear too much.
Well, but I think that was kind of an important statement. You know what I mean?
Well,
Because you're
we know
talking
they.
about the budget. You're talking about the
Yeah,
budget. That's the budget of the country, That we're talking about.
I know, but you have to realize that the way third world looks at things is different to how first world looks at it. So, so we 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 we, we can't overthink it.
All right, maybe for my years on Wall Street, I'm overthinking it because when I hear in my time when I hear manipulation, my four eyes open up.
Of course, because what you're thinking is that you're changing things from the real to you know.
To benefit yourself.
Well,
You try. Go ahead.
Well, that's what they're doing all the time, Anselm. From day one, they're manipulating things to suit their fancy. They're not coming with the truth.
Well, Gary,
Dave says
I understand.
The Minister of Finances announces the budget. I guess this is the question to the person who asks with respect to the budget. The Minister of Finance announces the budget, but this is a cabinet decision led by the PM. Input is not alone. His comments and decision are backed by the cabinet and Prime Minister. So whoever asks the question, Dave answer the question for you. Cheese Stick say, Queen, Kiss raise all three items, bread, everything raise. Kiss bread. Okay. What boy Tommy Mohammed says our problem is we vote on tribalism, not issues.
Well, the budget is usually in September, right? That's when they go and vote on the budget. When they come back to Parliament, I mean, that's when
That's
they
when
do
it's
the voting.
presented.
Yeah, that's when it's presented. We're in September now.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So we should be seeing some action with that, no?
I think all over the world, September begins the financial year.
Well, Ellis says, I'm not putting nothing on past this government. Yes, people need to understand that no government cares about them, and the PNM has a bad history. So Ellis, you're saying that no government cares about the people, right? And the PNM has a bad history. Are you saying the PNM has a bad issue over the past 6 years, or for the history of the PNM? They don't care about people, right? Because I think it could be very different. So Lana, yes, Dave, answer your question, and you see, so we have people in the chat who could answer questions, and that's what it's about. When you come in, you ask a question. Rose Celestine say, I'm making a dirt oven right now. What? You're gonna cook with that oven roast?
That's good stuff.
That's good stuff.
Yeah, I used to enjoy smelling the bread in the oven. Oh boy, what a nice smell.
Condensed milk went up $3 a tin. Well, they're still using condensed milk. Condensed milk is all sugar, boy. Coffee and condensed milk prices went up a week. Nescafe went up $12. Nescafe. Oh, what? They're still using Nescafe in Trinidad, right? Yeah. Ellis, you're a real comedian in truth. Ellis says Wall Street time to change their glasses, boy. When I type, I don't know what you're reading. Like you're mixing up text and then reading it. But I'm reading your text just as how you put it there. Queen said rose prices go up. People have no money to buy food. Yes, groceries, etc. Have to pay to shop things in there. But they're still making money, so they should not raise prices so much. So let me give all you some solutions. Think about it this way, right? If a lot of prices, if Kiss raising the prices, who said it? Not Kick, whoever. If Kiss raising the prices, on a big bread home now, how about that? If you bake bread, then you don't have to buy Kiss bread. Take the money where you're gonna buy the bread, buy flour, right? You can buy flour, a little bit of baking soda, right? A little bit of sugar in it, and bake your own bread and leave Kiss out alone. Problem solved, easy peasy, as they say. Look how easy that was. Okay, so I didn't see this. Chris Watson says data manipulation is the process of adjusting data by deleting or modifying data to clean up or map the data. Okay. So you're adjusting it and you're deleting it or you're modifying the data to clean up or map the data. But Chris, are you not looking for an end result? Right? Are you not looking for some type of end result? Isn't looking at the data to give you some type, to tell you something. When you look at the data tells you, all right, folks, you know what? We should go with A, or we should go with B, or we should go with a mixture of A and B. I mean, that's what I think. You know, as I said, when we look at market manipulation was basically someone is trying to manipulate stock in order to benefit themselves. Right? So when I hear manipulation, you know, a key goes off, a buzz goes off in my head right away. You know, but I'm not into computer. You know, I need to Google it and see. I need to Google it. But I hear you, Chris. I hear you loud and clear. Chris Watson says the big news for the budget is the devaluation of the Trinidad dollar. You know, Chris, I want to say this. I honestly do not believe the government is going to devalue the Trinidad and Tobago dollar. If you think things are expensive in Trinidad now, if they devalue that dollar, boy, it will be old mass in Trinidad and Tobago. So I don't think that's one of the government's strategy. Now, if the government goes to the IMF, right? The IMF might put stringent policies in place in telling the government you have to devalue the dollar. And not only that,
which usually happens, right?
That's what usually happens. And not only that, the IMF might tell the government, you know what? All them WASAN, TNTEC, and all them governmental organizations, all they have there, they are overstaffed and all they are cut staff. Right? And to me, that's not a good thing. So I don't think.
It depends. It depends because WASA could have 300 people that don't exist and they're paying salary. So there might have to be some auditing. You might have 3,000 people there. You understand? 3,000 ghost employee. So there's some evaluation that has to be done. All the money being spent auditing.
Go ahead, Tommy.
But the government did not go to IMF, to the IMF.
No.
IMF went to the government and
Yeah,
gave them.
no. They didn't go to the IMF. They didn't go to the IMF.
But IMF went to them instead and gave them some money and say, hey, this is to help you get through these difficult times. So maybe
That's different.
maybe they will also give them some advice too. I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah. No, Ellis. Ellis, I would like to get the factual information behind this, because I always hear this. Ellis says, Tommy, my brother, Eric Williams' daughter had money to offer a loan to this country without even having a history of working for it. Ellis, just Google that, Ellis, and put the link in the chat, right, where Eric Williams' daughter
Erica
offered a loan. Yeah, Erica Williams.
She when I remember that talk too. I think it was somewhere in the 80s and Trinidad run into some difficulty. She had offered to lend
it was a lot of talk. It was a lot of talk, but I haven't seen any factual information
I haven't seen
to back up that information. So Ellis, we speak truth to power here, right? And Ellis, you are very good. So take a minute or two and Google it, and just put the link here in the chat. I will Google it to myself for us to be able to say, yes, that is accurate, or that is just fake news as the normally says.
Oh, it's alleged. It's alleged.
Alleged. Yes, alleged. There's a lot of fake news. And Tommy Mohammed said something.
And it could have been a word of mouth thing, nothing publicly known,
Ellis says, don't buy condensed milk. People make it. Condensed milk is like 90% all sugar. Yeah, all you get rid of condensed milk, Lana says you can make your own bread, your own cheese and butter. Your own butter and cheese come from Keto's farm and get free goat milk. Oh God. Yeah. So Tommy responded. Tommy Mohammed says, now, and that's how we go back and forth in this chat. Mr. Ellis Laborde, but also Mr. Pandey and the airport corruption and Kamala and all the corruption as well. So the UNC should not be put back into office. That's what Tommy Mohammed said.
That Pandey and the airport corruption.
Yeah.
So we're going to throw the PNM and we're going to throw the UNC, and who are we going to put? Philip?
Huh?
Who are we going to put? Philip?
What do you
think is going to happen? What do you think is going to happen when Philip, just say he becomes prime minister? You know what's going to happen? All the goons is going to jump on the bandwagon and try to get their way with things. Same story all over again. You want to bet?
I don't know, boy.
It's the nature of things on the ground, bro. It's the nature of things on the ground. Yeah. When UNC win, all of them were storming UNC camp with their hand out.
Everybody want to eat our food, boy. Everybody want to eat our food.
And they think
everybody want to eat our food.
And the
it's like eat our food mentality in Trinidad and Tobago.
And the ordinary people, they knock you over, why?
Yeah, I wonder if it's why the break free movement break up. Or they're just asking, I'm just asking. I'm sure.
What
because of the break free movement.
Break free? I don't know what is that.
You know, the break free movement was God Christopher. It was supposed to be God Christopher and Jason and David Welch and a few other people from the UNC and Skippy, Barrington, Skippy Thomas, and a few of them. They call themselves the break free movement.
And they was breaking free from where? The UNC?
Yeah.
Oh, that's something new. I didn't know about that.
Yeah, and somebody eat our food and the break free movement break up. Oh, that's why I hear. I'm sure. I'm sure. I hear. So Alana said, after seeing a news post of China doing imports into Trinidad and Tobago, do you think our goods and services will be from China alone? Well, let me tell you something, right? We have been importing goods from China for a very long time. It ain't nothing new, right? It's just that lately, it has gotten out of hand. Because I know guys selling in Port of Spain who used to go to Curacao and buy a lot of the stuff in Curacao, right? And bring it back and sell right on the streets there in Port of Spain, right? They had all them people from Guyana too. They used to go Curacao, they used to go up the island, right? Buy the stuff and they bring it back and they sell it in Trinidad and Tobago.
But Anselm, is it any different here in the United States right now?
With China?
Where's everything made that we buy here?
Everything made in China. Everything made in
Just
China.
probably 95% of what we buy here in the United States is made in
Yeah.
China.
Nikes is in China. You could go on Alibaba or AliExpress and you could buy anything out of China. Ellis, Tommy, Ellis say I agree with you, brother. Vonnie Roberts, good night. You're inside. You're inside. Tommy Mohammed say, Mr. Rowley will not borrow from the World Bank because they don't want to account for how they spend it. Well, I will say the IMF. The World Bank is better. The World Bank is better to deal with than the IMF. And plus, if you borrow from the World Bank, you'll pay a lower interest rate than if you get money from the IMF. So it's better to take your chances with the World Bank.
And thank the IMF for the grant.
Yeah, we'll give you a grant. Yeah. Nadia, you're inside. Good night. All right, Ellis. But Ellis, you see, Ellis, you putting up things in the chat and you want me to do my homework. But what is that one? If you put in something, that means to say you have done your homework, right? You said Erica Williams offered Trinidad and Tobago a loan. I should prove
Not
what
offer,
you said.
gave. He didn't say offer, he said give.
Give Trinidad and Tobago. No, I think he said offered, you know.
I heard she offered when Trinidad ran into difficulty.
See, yeah, what he said. Tommy, my brother, Eric Williams' daughter had money to offer a loan to this country without even having a history of working. He said he made that statement. So if you make a statement, why should I prove your statement?
Yeah, that was that talk all over Trinidad. I'm sure you heard the same thing too.
Shouldn't you be able to back up your statement? Right? And it's come now, man. I go call Tommy Joseph for you, you know. All right, I go Google it then. I go Google it.
Yeah, I Googled it. I didn't see nothing.
Nutscake say Erica Williams says she would give TNT $5 million while she was in school still. $5 million? That is it? $5 million? I go Google it. Nadia say Ellis, that's true. yo. Oh God, buddy. Okay. All right, hold on. Vonnie Roberts is Vonnie. I like you know. All right, so Nutscake say Philip can't win. He went up for 28 seats and only get 5,000 votes. Yes.
Anyway, timing is everything.
Yeah. My dog say Anselm, yes. Break free come up because it seemed like they underestimated his potential. So I heard. Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't know much about the UNC. I was just, you know what I mean? Cheese Stick say, Gary, that's right. People do change when they reach up there.
So Dave is still dealing with some flooding issues out there. He won't be able to join us. So,
all right, no problem.
Yeah,
Vonnie Roberts say
he will try. He's not out of the picture yet. It's just that he's still kind of in the middle of that.
Yeah, that's right. Vonnie Roberts say, you want Aisha, Google, Sharon, go make if you put on PNM. What do you mean, Vonnie? They promote? I hear Vonnie Roberts say, he say, Aisha said they kick him out of PNM. Oh, you see what Dave says? Likely that Erica was representing an entity that was willing to lend money to the government. All right? Ellis, did you hear that? Ellis? And I think Nadia. Chris Watson says, Ansem, the demand for investors in Trinidad is not to none. It's not to none. So where diversity coming from? Well,
so she was with an organization. That's what they were saying. She was with an organization.
Yeah, likely. He says likely that Erica was representing an entity that was willing to lend money to the government.
In Florida, right? Yeah, at the time.
Yeah, but I don't know why the government will take money from an entity unless it's an investment banker or somebody significant. Maybe it's a project, you know, and the investment banker want to invest in the country because of foreign direct investment, something like that. But I mean, I will Google it. I will Google it.
But you know how talk this goes. So I mean,
yeah,
you don't know what the truth really is. Maybe like I said, she must have been with some organization that's within that capacity to lend Trinidad money. You know,
so. Vonnie Roberts says, Anselm, all those names you call are not relevant in politics. They can't even get a 500 votes. Which names? Which names are called? Chris Watson says, Anselm, what you're talking about is data tampering. It's the process of changing or adjusting data to fit personal gain. Okay. All right. Tommy Mohammed said, the thing is, China have high-end products, but the local businessmen don't bring it in. That's fact, you know. That's true, you know. They're bringing in the worst of the worst. So you're my partner, Vonnie Roberts, again. After Philip Enzana interview, I don't think Ansem is a PNM. I don't know, boy. Vonnie, where you get that email from? I feel that emails hung up in cyberspace, eh?
I strongly think that all the people that oppose needs to join together under some kind of understanding to move forward. Everybody had a little shop here and there is not going to resolve anything. But they do have to work on a strategy where they can work together. I mean, a forced marriage, you know, sometimes can cause more chaos. But if you have a marriage of understanding, where you know you can resolve things, you know, and not mash up the government because you vex. You know, it's like somebody take up their bat and go home and break up the cricket game. Yeah, that's how they behave as grown adults. You know, that's how they behave. You know, think they go you mash up the whole game and you're gone. Everybody vex and they take up their bat and their ball and they wicket and they go home. But I try to get people to look at the bigger picture. You know, it's the same thing I tried to do with the UNC. When things started to fall apart, you know, trying to reason with these guys to look at the bigger picture and what we're trying to achieve. But everybody's head was too, you know, hot. They couldn't talk to nobody, you know. And,
Ellis says, Wall Street, you're too big for me to spoon feed you. It was a political meeting. She said it at a PNM platform. George Chambers was talking. No, man, it was in Diego Martin. But Ellis, well, Google the article and put it in the chat now, man. What is that one? We like to deal with data, you know. We don't want to deal, we don't want no data manipulation, you know. We want data. It's data we like. All right, let me see what else we have here for you all. Hold on a minute.
So what's going on with Heavy and Ghost?
What do you mean?
We don't hear nothing from them. They have a program going on.
Heavy and on 91.9 on a Saturday now.
Oh, okay.
From 12 to 3. And Ghost Gone Ghost. Yeah, Ghost Gone Ghost. Ghost Gone Ghost. So, in Trinidad and Tobago, people are very happy with the Pfizer vaccine. Eh? Look at this long line for the Pfizer vaccine.
This 99 had to wait. Look at this is 931. 931 come. Wait, we will call. Right, we will call you. Wait.
9:30, 31, 32, 33.
hold on.
Hi guys, so yeah.
All right, hold on at the back. Hold on.
Folks, I'm going to be very, very specific. We are doing the 900s, but we have to be COVID compliant. For your own safety and the safety of others, please ensure you are a couple feet away from the person behind you and in front of you.
And they were having difficulties trying to vaccinate the Tobago population. So this is what the Prime Minister had to say.
Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley is disappointed with Tobago's response to the COVID-19 vaccine. On Friday, at a press conference hosted at his Blenheim Tobago residence, Dr. Rowley said Tobago has always had an adequate supply of vaccines. Referencing Jamaica's current predicament, the Prime Minister stressed that Tobago's systems cannot accommodate an outbreak.
Right now, Tobago is not cooperating to the level that causes one to believe that you are going to benefit from the protection of the vaccination program. I am very disappointed at the response to the threat in Tobago. I am concerned from the standpoint that Tobago does not have the infrastructure of a large number of doctors and nurses and hospitals and beds and so on to cope with a dangerous, heavy outbreak.
Dr. Rowley noted that while the country is paying attention to the Delta variant, there is another circulating.
The new variant is present in the United Kingdom, and we are waiting to hear what the credentials of that new variant is. But there is a new variant that is of interest to WHO. So the virus is still mutating.
The Prime Minister confirmed that from Monday, September 6th, places of worship can resume services with a 25% seating capacity. And while some clamor for the reopening of beaches, Dr. Rowley said this cannot be done, as in the past it contributed to a spike in cases. In more news, 7 more have died due to COVID-19. The latest figure from the Ministry of Health puts the death toll at 1,318. The ministry is also reporting 239 new positive cases, bringing the number of active cases to now 3,986. 286 of those cases are patients at hospital.
So there you have it, folks. There you have it. They're not happy with what's going on in Tobago, boy. Could that having to do something with the upcoming election, boy? Is it possible?
Yeah, man, you know how the thing rolled. Anyway, I sent you a little video there of the young lady who's doing the cleanup in TNT with the reference to the birds and the oil spill, and she's calling for volunteers. So maybe we could give it her a little highlight, and next week you could probably bring her on so she could talk a little more about it.
Yeah, no problem. Nutscake say Heavy and TC have a program now on Saturday. Yeah, it's Heavy, Nutscake and TC, and
So what going on with Ghost? So Ghost off the program?
No, they don't have the Truth is Unbelievable no more.
No. So see if you can get Ghost to come in one day and see if we could chat.
Yeah. But Ghost like a real Ghost in Truth. You know, you have to get.
You have to find.
Why I think they call the man Ghost? Why I think they call the man Ghost? Lana says when politicians in Trinidad and Tobago start to be held accountable for crimes of fraud and mismanagement, then politicians will do the right thing.
Well, I don't think it's
no, Lana. It's when the people.
Exactly.
It's when the people start to hold them accountable.
Yeah.
When the people, not when the politician. When the people start to hold them accountable, right? Then and only then, we will see things change.
You know, everybody has to act like this concerns them. It's not the next man problem. It's not the neighbor problem. It includes everybody, you know.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't understand this kind of attitude. I mean, one guy decided to stand up for something happening in the country there, and you're just watching him like, he come to entertain you. You know,
Yes.
you know what I mean? Look at this young man, David Wells, take up a stance there in the country, and I mean, the young people, they should have jumped on the bandwagon with him, you know.
But Gary, listen to this young man, and listen to this fella.
They try to make we believe that together we aspire and together we achieve. But then together we aspire and there's only 1% of people in the country achieving. So then what are telling me?
Let me repeat that.
They try to make we believe that together we aspire and together we achieve. But then together we aspire and there's only 1% of people in the country achieving. So then what are telling me?
Do we believe that? Is that true? Is that a true statement? Is that a true statement, folks? Tommy?
That's a boy, that together business.
Together we aspire, together we achieve.
Do we really aspire together?
No, I asked him.
It's questionable.
It's questionable?
Yep.
Well, the way I look at it is that Tommy says that's the 500 Syrians only. That's what Nutcake said the rich must get richer, only the 1% achieving. Ellis says yes, bro.
Yep.
Yeah.
It could happen, but it doesn't happen.
Mm-hmm. So let me ask you a question now. Think about this, right? Think about this. In the upcoming election in Tobago, are they going to restrict unvaccinated people from voting? I'm just asking. Because we are saying that, right, we are putting certain restrictions on people in certain places. Are they going to put restrictions on people when come to the election in Tobago? I'm just asking. Eh?
It's left to be seen.
I don't think they could put any restrictions on people. I really don't think so.
They shouldn't.
I don't think they'll put any restrictions. But I mean, it's a question. You know?
It could be used as a tool to increase the level of vaccination, because I mean, when you want to achieve a particular goal, you could incentivize other things, you know.
Did you see the article? What the UK said is they believe it's impossible to reach herd immunity.
Yeah, I have that one. Let me bring it up, Gary. I have that one. Yeah. We have that one. Let me see that one. We have that one.
So this vaccine agenda. I mean, what are we really? I mean, what are we really telling the population? You know, in the sense of that aspect. You know,
Yeah.
Are we coming with truth? Or, you know, go ahead, go with it.
UK expert says herd immunity may be unachievable, and they were saying that they may have to move herd immunity from 70% to like 80 to 90%. Because it might be unachievable. or you may have to move it down from 70%. Think about it.
And again, being vaccinated, can you still spread COVID to other people? Can you put other people at risk?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know,
yes.
I mean, so I mean, what are we really saying? What are we pressuring people for? If you vaccinated and you still catch COVID and you could still spread it, I mean, it could save your life. You know.
That's what is being said, that it will save your life, that you wouldn't get as ill if you're unvaccinated.
That's what it says.
But then we have a situation where people are having fatalities. I mean, you know, and adverse reactions. And I'm fully aware of some people who have had that situation. You know, it's become seriously ill with the vaccine. So let's bring a safe vaccine to the population.
But Gary, basically they're saying the percentage that fits that category is so minuscule that it outweighs the benefit. Or should I say the benefit outweighs the negativity or the misfortunes?
To me, for me, and my family, you know, I'll take a chance taking the vaccine. I mean, it's a choice. You have to take a chance not taking the vaccine, and you have to take a chance taking the vaccine. So I will take a chance taking the jab.
So we saw that with Franklin Khan. He took a chance too, right?
But
what percentage of people? What percentage of people
how many others took the
vaccine?
chance? How many others took the chance and didn't
survive?
Right.
How many? What is the percentage of people taking the vaccine and dying, as opposed to people that see?
We have seen 6,000 people in the US died from the vaccine.
Is that accurate? Is that accurate? Is that accurate?
It's out there in the medical websites.
No, well, because the only reason why, Gary, because when we say certain things, YouTube does fact check what we say, and if they don't fact check, they'll take us down. Because that's why Facebook took us down. Facebook took us down because they said we had information that we used on the program, right? That was untrue, and they banned us for 2 months. That's why we only got back on Facebook last week. So all I'm saying is that if we're going to throw out numbers, we got to be sure that the numbers are accurate. That's why, you know, I really don't throw out numbers because
Google it and you'll see it.
I Google it right now.
Yeah,
let me Google it right now. Yeah,
and
because I think
other websites, including I think the CDC too, if I don't make a mistake.
Okay. So, and you talking about vaccinated people, right?
Adverse reaction to the vaccine, you will see. And right now they're investigating.
No, I thought they said died though.
You said died. So
you said died.
No, 6,000 people died from the vaccine. I saw that on the internet.
So Google, how many vaccinated persons? What is the number of vaccinated persons that have died in the United States?
Yeah. People die in U.S.
Vaccine deaths. See.
Hold on. Okay, here we go. It says CDC data and FDA data doesn't support false claims. Thousands have died from COVID-19 vaccine. The vaccine adverse events reporting system is managed by the CDC and the FDA, which are credible sources. But the agency said these claims are misconstrued data. Deciding on whether to get COVID-19 vaccine can be hard for many people, which is why it's important for you to know the facts to make an informed decision. Some articles on social media posts cites data from the vaccine adverse event reporting system, which data supporting the claim that thousands of people from died receiving the COVID-19 vaccine. This claim is false.
Oh, so it's a new update on that then before.
Sources, U.S. Health, Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, and the Food and Drug Administration. That's exactly what I'm saying. And that's why Facebook took us down before.
Okay, there's another site here. VARES.
But Gary, people go by the Center for Disease Control and Prevention and the Food and Drug Administration.
This is linked to it. Hold on a second. This is linked to it. It's a link right in the CDC there. So where I saw that. I don't know if the information they moved it or whatever, but I sent it to you guys. I posted on the site at one point.
Yeah, but this is it right there. You see, CDC and FDA data doesn't support false claims that thousands have died from COVID-19 vaccine. And you see, if we are going to go otherwise, you see, we can't go based on the other set of information. YouTube and Facebook and them is not going on those other information. They are using the CDC and FDA as their information, and they're in charge. So if we saying that this other site says A and the FDA and the CDC is saying B, YouTube and Facebook is saying we are going along with the FDA and the CDC, and from that they will kick you out. You know, so I think we should err on the side that we should go on the side of either we just leave it alone, you know, so we don't have to deal with it, especially things like that, you know, because I mean Facebook and YouTube and them, they run social media, you know, and they already showed us already. And YouTube took down one of our videos in the village with the DAG Triplets, right? They blocked it totally, and I appealed it, right? And YouTube says, no, you made statements, you know, that were untrue, and, you know, and it wasn't a strike against WZYE TV, but if we had made that type of statement again, right, they could actually take down the channel. You know, so all I'm saying is that we could make comments, but we just want to show that, you know, the FDA and the CDC, you know, doesn't say otherwise.
Well,
no, that's all, you know, because we had to be careful. Hey, wait now, boy. They have a new person in the chat. New kid. Who's the new kid? I wonder if I run the MC boy coming in as new kid. I feel like running. New kid, where you joining us from? New kid says, Haley, welcome. Haley, welcome. New kid says, making reference to your work plays a vital role in the quality of it, as well as the integrity of the individual. We must always try to be factual as possible. This PM could wing his statements as well. Yeah, I mean, correct is right. Haley says, the Trinidadian citizens don't know what freedom is. They rather be safe with what they know. Lana says the Ministry of Health don't know how many people vaccinated, so they call on your phone to get to get information to use as data. You think so, Lana?
They was not documenting. In fact, I saw the CMO said that they wasn't documenting who vaccinated and who not, and that was something that they should be doing.
So all right. So new kid said, good night again. Glad to join you guys once more to share opinions on different occurrences in our sweet Trinidad and Tobago. New kid, where you joining us from? Tommy Mohammed says CDC keeps saying one thing and then doing something else.
CDC operating like Terrence Day Housing.
Oh.
Yeah. Ellis, no joke, boy. Let me use the word jabber earlier, because all you know people will send them videos of them to they're gonna flag on YouTube and flag on Facebook. And next thing, boy. New kid says, pleasant good night to everyone, both hosts and members of the chat. I am a fellow onlooker to this WZYE. Also not new, just don't chat. New kid with me, not new. Then the first time we see him, new kid, man. JR. Who's JR? JR, where you joining us from? I was wondering what happened. JR.
Yeah, but that is true, you know, Anston. We have a lot of listeners who don't get in the chat. They just listen. I know some.
Okay. Yeah. All right. My bad. I apologize. Yeah. That's what that means. They just listen. Okay. All right, my bad. Takesha back inside. Okay, Chris Watson says the problem with Trinidadians is the citizens worry about the narrative of certain individuals in society who have a higher standard of life to them instead of uniting as citizens as one. It was it. Haley says something. Go ahead, Gary. Go ahead, Gary.
What that's supposed to mean? If people work for what they have, I mean, we can't jealous them. You know what I mean? They work for what they
Hey,
have.
JR, good evening. JR, where are you joining us from? Well, Gary, I hear you, Gary, but
look for example, you right? You work your tail off. You send your kids to college. You build up yourself. Your kids succeeding. Nobody can envy you for that. They're wrong. They're other place, just like everybody else.
no. But I think it's like applying to Trinidad though. Where is that? Certain people get contracts because of who they know.
Yeah, we know that's been going on for X number of years. Look, you wanna get any contract from anybody? When they win the election, they know any of us.
No, we ain't get one yet. But we go get one soon.
Yeah, they might put a contract on we.
Yeah, Afisha Don Martin. Good night. New kid.
We can contract them to listen to we to say what this is what we think we would like to see to benefit the country and everybody else. I mean, look, I would prefer to live in Trinidad, but not the rate things going.
And anybody know who New Kid is? Because New Kid ain't telling us where you from. JR New Kid, can you guys tell us where you from? Or New Kid saying just listen. But just tell us where you're from now. We want to know where you're from. We like to know when people come in the chat where they're from. That is all. So we could tell people to say hello. Only hello, say hello to New Kid and say hello to JR.
Welcome, friends. Welcome, JR, and welcome, New Kid, to the chat.
Chris Watson, you're right, YouTube uses an algorithm, right? And let me tell you guys something, guys, don't be deceived by the numbers always here. The numbers we are getting on WZYE TV is like, at the last time I looked at it, we had about 1.5 million views. We had about 100,000 unique listeners, right? Our click rate was about 12%. Due to you guys, WZYE TV is doing very, 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 very good, right? So sometimes, you get misguided by the numbers you see, but due to you guys, and you guys telling other people, and that's what we here at WZYE TV about. Each one reach one, and we try to teach. Hey! Wait now. Nah. All you sell out to run the MC, please. Please. Run the MC. Yeah, man. And he first comment, oh shock, I'm out. Wrong chat.
No Diana tonight.
Ron, no Diana in your tail tonight. But Diana in Chicago, going on a competition there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing about it is, we not get any feedback from anybody on the ground there as to how they're doing with this weather that hit Trinidad. Nobody's saying nothing. I guess everybody's okay.
Yeah, boy. Not skate. Run community. Run. But I feel Ron is a New Kid on the block, I feel so.
With all the damages that we saw took place, I mean.
Okay. Oh, Illy said, I think a feature said she was in Tobago. Okay. Oh, New Kid, she's 6 and New Kid, you're feeling like a bite up salt prune? All I feel New Kid is wrong. I feel so. The Queen said New Kid is an old kid. He's 50 years old. Queen, how you know that?
2 minutes to the hour answer.
Yeah. All right. It's in the village with the DAG Triplets on WZYE 95.9 FM. Of course, we come to you every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday from 7 to 9 p.m. We're going to go for a quick station identification. And when we come back, we have some more surprises for you. Stick and stay. Don't go nowhere. We'll be right back after this message.
You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE 95.9 FM, the most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area. Broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey, the most influential name in Caribbean radio, WZYE 95.9 FM.
And of course, we are back with you. It's in the village with the DAG Triplets and WZYE 95.9 FM. We come to you every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday from 7 to 9 p.m. That's Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday from 7 to 9 p.m. So all of you who don't want to get vaccinated, here's the solution. I'm giving you guys the solution. Here's the solution.
Boy, I'm real afraid to take that vaccine, boy. I'm frightened, boy. I'm trembling over frightened, boy.
Kenneth, you need to take this vaccine. If you don't take this vaccine, you're going to put yourself at risk.
Boy, I'm frightened. I'm not taking this vaccine. I'm not taking it.
Hello, who is next for the vaccine? Me.
Oh, God. All see the solution?
Incentivize it.
Incentivize, man. It's incentive. You have to give incentive there. Don't care what you do. You have to give incentive. So here is listen to this, I don't know how this fella accomplished this, but let's watch this. I don't know. Watch this. That fella could real limbo, boy. Watch.
Yep.
That fella is a boss,
Mm-hmm.
That fella is a boss, boy. That fella
a boss criminal.
He's a boss criminal, boy.
And you see how old he is?
Oh, you know, we have we guess, and we guess decided not to be a guest. Don't worry about it. All you know, we just go sometime, right? Just to thief our phone, yeah. Ellis say, Gary, you go like with this. Gary, even Ellis was giving you talk the other day. You go like this one. Ellis say, that's why the top cop have to issue firearms. But nobody in there, right? They ain't dealing with nobody. Nobody shoot nobody. The man take a phone and he gone.
But you I mean, you have to use discretion in this situation. The firearm is to defend yourself against armed criminals. You're going to shoot a kid.
Mm-hmm. So, Tommy Mohammed says most churches also pushing this JAB program. But why are they doing that? Because they want to open back.
They ain't getting no money.
They ain't getting no money. Tithes and offering, man. Yeah. But all see the incentive. What CPSAT, the incentive from CPSAT, right? Okay, well, Chris Watson says, Ansem, I'm talking about the high people in society. You only worry about their self and family and their brand, not the citizens. Who's from Mova, Afisha? Afisha, who's from Mova? Yeah, I feel Queen and all of them know something, because the Queen says, new kid, you're working out late, laugh out loud. Yeah. Everybody saying, yeah, new kid. They know who new kid is, I tell you earlier. All right. Let me go back. Let me go back into our little archive here. So, Gary, I think you sent me this one,
2 Fridays ago, Wassa dig up this, Flexible Enterprises and Wassa dig up this. This is Assumption Church. That is Charlize. This is Long Circular Road, and it is a very busy stretch of road. 2 Fridays ago, I wanted to stop and take a video to tell you, nowhere else in the civilized world could a utility company dig up the road and leave it like this to cause this much stress. But only in Trinidad and Tobago, we will allow that, cuss each other. But we wouldn't hold the government to task to ask them, how the hell is this acceptable? 2 Fridays ago, you dig up the blasted road. How come it's not paved as yet? How does this pass as anything like 2 Fridays ago? What's up?
And you see what happens, right? When those type of thing happens, let me get this other video here. Because it leads to this, right? And we have to hold Wasanem accountable. All right? Because when they're digging up a hole like that, they need to immediately go back and fix it. Or send whoever's supposed to fix it if they dig it up. That's unacceptable. And you see what happens when that happens, then they go start to say how they're against the government and things like that. No, they're not against the government, right? It's what's the responsibility. If they do something like that, they should fix it immediately. Immediately. Here we go. Here it is right there. Hold up. Just now. Okay. All right, I gotta bring it up here. Right, Tommy and Gary.
Yes, indeed.
And it shouldn't be that you have to go and make a video, right? In order for you, what to this thing here, man?
To get some action.
To get some action, it shouldn't be like that. That's unacceptable. Really unacceptable. Yeah. So it seemed that the only time you get action is when you go and make a video. But you know something though? When the people in the BTM protest, you know what happened? They're going to be called all kind of names.
But is the people in the BTM who does really stand up? Is the people in the BTM who does really stand up in the country?
Mm-hmm.
They've stand up the most.
Yeah. Yes, look at it here. Look, watch it. There was a little hole before. Just like the little hole right there. Look where it become now.
Widening before your eyes. Believe it or not, residents say this sinkhole in Beetham Garden started as what appeared to be a pothole on August 18th.
We presently experiencing a hazard. Now, this hole 2 weeks ago was a lot smaller than this. We contacted the councillor Akilorian I'd ask him to get on to the MP. Those in Wassa are fully aware of what is going on.
The pump to extract the water has been doing little to prevent the open cavity from expanding and causing more problems for residents in neighboring houses.
Where are those in authority? We have a lot of children that live inside here, and this will keep eroding bit by bit, day by day, second by second. We are experiencing in people's kitchen, water coming up in their sinks, the toilet bowl and them are backfilling. The water is overflowing in the people's apartments, in the people's houses.
It's a cry of neglect in what is considered a PNM stronghold.
Called back the councillor this morning. He said was sourcing the materials. I even asked him the materials coming from Africa. Because if this were in any other community, Westmoreland, St. James, anywhere else, this would have been fixed already.
There seems, he says, only one way to get things done in the marginalized communities on the outskirts of the capital.
We want the community center, we had a protest. We want better roads, we had a protest. We wanted amber lights by Sobol School, we had to protest. So we know to get something done inside this community, we always have to protest. And if we have to protest during the state of emergency to have this fixed, we have no other choice but to take this to the priority bus route. If bus can come here in the morning, somebody had to stand up for something. And if I had to stand up for the children inside this community to have this problem fixed, if I don't go on the bus and stand up by myself, I will do it.
Port of Spain South MP Keith Scotland, when reached, says the area falls within the remit of his Laventil West colleague Fitzgerald Hines, who could not be reached by TV6. Public Utilities Minister Marvin Gonzalez, when reached this afternoon, said the matter had only been brought to his attention 1 hour previously, but he gave an undertaking to have a specialized team visit the area to attend to the issue. WZYE Communication Manager Danielle Plenty, when contacted, says the authority is aware of the matter. He says it involves a collapsed wastewater pipeline and arrangements are in place to commence work by the end of the week. Urvashi Tomari Rupnarayan, TV6 News.
No, Lucy?
Hello.
No, Lucy?
Hello.
No,
That's a
no, Lucy?
very dangerous thing that needs immediate attention. All right? We can't beat around the bush with that. That thing could collapse and somebody's child could end up with the rubble and the water inside it too. You know?
And the housing next to it can suffer some serious damages too.
Exactly.
But why does it have to take that long in order for you to do something, man? Why? We in 2021. Why?
Well, they had to get material. They had to get materials from Africa.
and I follow them Anderson. He's a UNC activist. But I don't know we don't show all kind of thing here in the village. You know what I mean? I don't Anderson. Well, Anderson know me and I know Anderson. We have never met, but we know each other. You understand? But why? Why? And when them same people go out and protest, right? The police go come and brutalize them. Think about it. They go brutalize them.
SOE.
All kind of thing, right? But they can't get this. The thing was a little hole, they say. The thing turned into a sinkhole.
Sinkhole? That's more than a sinkhole, you know. In the matter of minutes, that thing will collapse. If you look inside of that, it's all sandy material. It don't take much for that whole thing to collapse. Who did say the MP is? Fitzgerald Hines?
You remember the last time the partner went on, you were not like he was in the 1976 Olympics?
No, is it Hines? I thought it said Port of
No,
Spain
it's Hines.
All right. But what they say that he couldn't be reached?
No, he couldn't be reached.
All right.
Yeah, reach out to Scotland.
Reach out the Port of Spain South. He should know by now. The thing in there yesterday. You know? But you see, when we bring these things to their attention, right? They call us all kind of names, all kind of things, with this, with that, with the other. Right? And when the people go and they protest, you see Gary and Tommy, eh? An action brings a reaction. Right? It started as a whole. They reported to the councillor, right? The councillor taking the whole time. Well, let me not say sure. There's a great possibility they reported it to the MP. MP taking the time, right? The news people coming. Now tell me news, people gotta go and rush to do things now, right? If the news ain't coming, the people take to the beatum, right? Or take to the streets. They go start to be calling all kind of names.
But
Right.
everybody have a smartphone nowadays, and if you publish something like that, you will get some action. You will get some action. If I had seen that, I mean, I recently saw it too, but I knew who the MP was. I was going straight up in the face, and which I intend to do now. You know, I going straight up in the face. You know.
Yeah, but
Kazim Hussein, Minister of Local Government.
But
right?
And Gary, I hear they talking about this in the chat. All I know we just have things covered here. Look what happened today. Vonnie Roberts, I see you talking about this, so that's why I put it up. I wasn't going to put it up, you know. But Vonnie Roberts say, let me see what Vonnie Roberts says.
And that happening on the SOE.
5, you know. 5 killed there.
Yeah. SOE working good, boy.
But my dog, we already answered the question, man. Where's that one? Vonnie Roberts says, Nutscake says, what? 5 murder today. Yeah, Nutscake, it's up on the screen. Gary, them fellas say you're not hearing you.
They're not hearing
Yeah,
me?
Vonnie Roberts, look it up on the screen there. You see? But who you blaming for that now? Who is to blame for that? Only run, welcome back, boy. We miss you, boy. We miss you. Run say, okay, my dog, I wasn't coming in the chat because of the host. But Diana not here. Oh, with you. Diana not here. So you go talking about you're talking about Diana and she's not here. That's not nice, man, Ron. Ron says, let me put it up on the screen here so you don't think I'm making joke. Watch. Ron says, okay, my dog, I wasn't coming in chat because of the host. Well, let's see, so like I say, I tell him nice. Right? I wonder if I should send that to Diana now, boy. Well, let's see, boy. I don't know what's going on in the country now. I really don't know what's going on in the country. Serious. I don't know what to say, man. A big hole in the road. Oh, let's see the other one. What's this one?
Call Mr. King. Call Mr. King on here.
I don't know what else to say, no boy. Just so you know. Just so boy. I don't know. Roosty. Yeah, nuts cake. Run noisy big attraction in his show, and he making all kind of thing. You all kind of thing. Rose says Commissioner Gary like he have his own worries. Yes, Gary, your boy. Lana
So,
says she was only.
what is the problem with Commissioner Gary? What's the problem?
No, we worry that 5 people get killed again. Gary, it looked like if
But so the commissioner is giving out guns to law-abiding citizens to defend themselves against these criminals, because before all these criminals had the upper hand. I mean, what you see in there is joke, Ansem, over the years. What you see in there is joke.
Yeah, but Gary, Vonnie Roberts says, we're not hearing Gary and all these murders. I don't know if it's Gary Griffith or Gary Mahabir. So I don't want to put words in Vonnie Roberts' mouth. Vonnie, are you speaking about Gary Griffith?
What I'm saying, okay, so until we get Gary Griffith, I tell Diana to send him my invite. So until we get Gary Griffith on the show here, what I am saying is the Commissioner of Police, they're knocking the Commissioner of Police for giving law-abiding citizen who is in distress and being robbed and brutalized all these years by criminals guns to defend themselves. In the meantime, criminals have unlimited amount of guns. So anybody against the Commissioner of Police for giving law-abiding citizens gun license to defend themselves is part of the problem. And with the criminals, they may be part of one of these gangs.
But Gary, the people gain more guns and it are more crime.
More crime? But
people gain more guns and you have more murders in the country.
But listen to me.
Private people gain license.
But,
right?
Okay, but okay, so
and you
that's
still
5,000
haven't.
people can have the ability to defend themselves. 5,000 more than we had before that had the ability to defend themselves. You know how much robbery have been taking place in the country?
But Gary, murder's still going up.
But this murder is between the gangs and between themselves, you know. Most of the times they rob people, they didn't really kill them, you know. They rob them. Most of the time. All right?
But Gary,
most of the killings is between gangs.
You give out guns so people can protect themselves, right? And the family, right?
Against
right.
criminals.
Right. So, to me, right, if you're doing that, that's fine. But also, the more important thing is a reduction in murders.
But answer is the criminal have the illegal guns that are doing these things. It's a gang warfare going on in the country. The Commissioner of Police has made a lot of improvement, but he does not have all the power to stop everything because he needs some collaboration from the Coast Guard, right? He needs some collaboration from the regiment. He needs some collaboration from national security, and I'm sure my friend Fitzgerald Hines has stepped up the game a little bit. He's doing more than the guy who was there before. Fitzgerald Hines is doing more than the guys there before. So, I mean, we won't get the result we want to see right away, but there's been drastic improvement. Now, the people in the country has a role to play in their community. They have to join forces with the police and their government in making a difference.
No, Gary, go ahead.
No, I had suggested about the community watch, right? The community
Great
watch.
idea.
So you have
fantastic idea, Gary. Excellent.
I have this thing running for years. I started Crime Watch way before Ian Allen.
Excellent.
I had a group.
What
I'm saying to
how
you
come
is,
Gary Griffin didn't take it? How come he didn't take it?
Citizens in the country, this is an initiative. No, the police was participating. They were participating with somebody in the neighborhood watch. So what happened is, like, I had one or two councillors was doing it, right, for their community. Like Montrose was the guy there before was doing it, right. So the police was participating with that. But this is an initiative. I was trying to get national security to do this program. I see they did something. They attempted to do something. Anyway, but for years, what I've been pushing the idea is that there has to be some participation from the people in the community. to watch. It's a simple thing. It's a simple thing to watch. It's a deterrent strategy. I've been in security. What we do is to show a presence of people watching to deter the crime. I believe in deterring the crime. I see. My thing is, when an egg is broken, it's broken. So the first objective is to deter. Is to deter the incident from happening.
Gary, stick a pin right there. Stick a pin right there. Stick a pin right there. If there's a lot of illegal guns coming into the country, don't you want to deter illegal guns coming into the country?
But that is where the government comes in. This is where the Coast Guard go on punching. Boy, I work in 10 to 6, you know. Wake me up if anything happens. I'm going to take a little nap. Because I'm doing a little PH tomorrow, you know. That was the nature of everything went down.
Not
So
scared say.
they clock in. Let's look what happened with the fishermen that when they went into distress. What the Coast Guard said they didn't have gas for this. And then for the boat. When the guy from Upper Sea, that's when they killed the fishermen out there and throw them overboard and stuff, and they were calling for help. They didn't have no gasoline for the boat. By the time the Coast Guard make up their mind if they was coming or not coming, that was the next thing. And plus the Prime Minister ground the 4 helicopters. I think the video is freezing for some reason. We freezing.
No, it's good.
Is it?
Not scared says.
Okay. So what I'm saying is we need a collaboration. For instance, like we were talking the other night. The Prime Minister is the chairman of the National Security Council. He has to set up some kind of a central command where he brings in the Commissioner of Police, the Minister of National Security, and you know the military and the various agencies to work under his control, and they're supposed to come up with a strategy together in curbing this issue and dealing with this issue. Now there has to be some kind of a follow-up process where the supervisors are making sure, like when I did securities, I have to check on my men to make sure that they are patrolling. I had a guy working for me on one truck inside. I spoke to him about 1 o'clock or so. Don't worry, no man, we's brothers. I got you covered, man. I get down there about 3 o'clock in the morning. The man covered up under blanket and sleeping. But he's my brother and he got me. So what I'm saying to you is you have to be checking on your men to make sure that they are doing their job. You just can't say you tell this guy to do this and nobody's following through with it. Now we said the way we're supposed to set this thing up is that Coast Guard is patrolling, and then you have military patrolling, and then a little bit inland you have the police patrolling, and they're all interconnecting while the patrol is going on. So you have like 3 sets of patrol taking place within the military and the police. I also suggested about a marine unit because I didn't find that the Coast Guard was picking up the slack, and I saw they did that. I saw the marine unit has been established. They have got some boats, which I suggested that we should have some short-term response boats. You know, like the little boats, and not the big one they were fighting over. That that you can respond within close range of the waters. You know, within shoreline patrol. So that you can intercept us. You see them in the USA, you see them in Texas, Louisiana, New York, in the marina. You have these small police boats, you know, that can respond faster into an issue, and then they call for the bigger boats to come in. But we don't have our act together. You know, I mean, we have people, the US has trained our people, but we're not following through with the training. We're not following through. I mean, the US has done everything to assist us.
But you see, Gary, Nutcake is just asking a question. Gigi talking about everything else but the murders, right? Haley says, who bring illegal guns? Who actually bring in illegal guns?
Tell me
right?
Who? You think it's the Syrian giving the little black boy on the street to kill each other and hijack them themselves? No.
Who is it?
Okay. These boys, things have gotten so weird that these boys, you see the little fishing boat coming across the country, back and forth. The man on the street doing a little deal too.
Hmm.
The big boys ain't gonna bring gun for me and you on the street.
Mm-hmm.
They gonna bring it for themselves. They ain't gonna give the ordinary man on the street that. Them fellas doing their hustle for a long period of time. We've been trading contraband between Venezuela. Them people hungry for food. They're bringing anything. They're selling themselves too. So the trade is not necessarily the big boys bringing the guns for the man on the street. People that idea is so ridiculous.
But Gary, here Claudia Morales, right? Claudia Morales says, I don't know. When all they put Gary in the chat, or they put Gary G, or they put Gary M, because I don't want to say the comment is against Gary M if the comment is against Gary G. Claudia Morales says, Gary don't want to hear the truth. I don't think she's talking about Gary Griffith. I want to think so.
What I'm telling you
Ellis,
is, them little boys had a little fishing boat, the Venezuelan coming back and forth and they're trading back and forth. We are not watching. We are not patrolling as we should patrol. I don't think they understand the level of patrolling should be done. I could show them for free. I tell them I was going to do short young job for free if they wanted, because that was my country.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing about, like I said before, is that I am not seeing the level of patrolling that is necessary to be done. I don't see the following up and supervision of the manpower that we have on the ground. Okay? I think men are clocking in and they're not doing their jobs.
Okay. Ellis says,
I also think that the big money spent, billions of dollars spent every year on national security. How much of that money really gets to the ground for where the resources are needed?
well, a lot of them going in salaries, you know. A lot of that money going in salaries, you know. A lot of that money going in salaries. Ellis says, Wall Street, get your facts together. Ellis, what facts you want to get together? Vonnie Roberts says, we can't stop the guns when the borders are open. And Ron says, Ellis was right. Erica Williams Connell did offer TNT alone in the 80s when we was going through a recession.
I remember that conversation, but like Dave said, it was probably she was working with an entity that was capable of doing that, and she must have offered.
And Gary, if Claudia Morales says Rose is studying at the WPC, Woman Police Constable, is that what WPC is?
Yeah, Woman Police Constable. What happened to the Police Constable?
Claudia say Rose is studying the Woman Police Constable.
The other woman police who recently died. So.
Oh, who died? Okay.
So the
All right.
police commissioner said condolence. So what are you supposed to do? That's part of his unit. He must say condolence.
Okay.
Now listen to me, man. There's a lot to be done, and citizens has a role to play. Government should lead the way and advise citizens on how they can help. The police force should coordinate the neighborhood watch so that that give the people some advice on how they can and collaborate with them. There's a lot to be done. It's not just some. This is not a one-man show. It's an inclusive show. We all have to play a role in helping to resolve the things that making TNT a safer place.
But Gary, with that in mind, I saw a comment here. Gary, do you believe that we should have Wallafield Nuts welcome, and Diana is in Chicago in the spoken words contest? So you're sending a lot of hellos for she and all kind of thing, but when she come, you go tell she you say hello to she about 5 times Wallafield Nuts. Gary, Nuts Cake say guns coming with the drugs is absolutely correct, and the drug lords give them to do guys on the block to protect the turf, and I believe he's absolutely correct.
But what the man on the street, them young boys on the street, you think they don't have access to guns? A fishing boat comes across and brings guns to trade for food, right, in Trinidad. So there's no big Syrian bringing gun and giving the guy on the street. They had to be foolish to do that.
But Gary, I think I think what he's saying is that, and it's true, when the drugs come in, guns come with the drugs. Because them guns is to protect the people, right? It's to protect the drugs. The people who are selling the drugs, the people who they get the drugs to, they get
Who
guns to
trading
protect
drugs?
the drugs.
You think it's just the big shot bringing the drugs? It's a small man doing the thing.
Gary, small man, how them small man I'm gonna bring in them one set of guns, boy? You feel so?
Boy, you'll be surprised to see what could come on a little fishing boat.
You think the majority of people bringing in guns in Trinidad is the small man?
So the small man, the big boy bringing the gun to get the small man on the street, boy. Them fellas bringing their own thing. They're making their
You really
deal.
believe that?
Yeah.
The majority, no, I'm asking. You think the majority bringing in is the small
But
man?
what I'm telling, listen to me. You think the big boy is gonna bring guns to give the boy on the street to attack them and to come and rob them?
No, they ain't giving them to come and rob them. Listen to what Ellis says again. Not Ellis, not Skate. Guns coming with the drugs, and the druggless give them to the guys on the block to protect the turf.
And which drug lord? It has all the levels of drug lords in Trinidad. Depends on which level you're talking about.
Ellis says, and this is Ellis, you're back on track. You're back on track. You're back on track. If I'm gonna put up that one day. If
you ever see some little 18-year-old driving a car for $300,000?
No, I never see that 18-year-old. No, I never see that.
Okay, and
I
they're
never
dressing
see
up and they're racing each other and fancy mags and boy, you even see that they will say, boy, it's better to stay home and forget Wall Street and work it and do this thing because that doesn't make more money than me.
Yeah, I never see that. Ellis says, and Gary, you should agree with this. If Gigi could just implement the body cams, half of the issues we have with the TTPS killings will be able to be justified. Simple. Why taking Gary Griffith so long to implement body cameras? Why?
Money.
Oh God, Gary, man. Oh God, Gary, man. Come on, man.
Let's ask the Minister of National Security.
Come on, man. Really, man? Gary, really, man?
Well, they have to get it approved in the budget.
Gary, Gary, you just said they have one of the biggest budgets.
I said national security.
Yeah, well, national security, police under national security.
Depends on what national security gives the police and what.
But look how long Gary Griffith talk about body cams in Trinidad and Tobago.
He's not against the body cam, but it takes a while to get it. He's prioritizing where the body cam is going.
All right.
He's prioritizing based on the amount of body cams he has been able to access. He's prioritizing where, especially those on those special units that doing tactical work, is making sure that they have. I mean, he's not. It's going to take a while to trickle down to the ordinary man on the street, police on the officer on the street, but they have certain division of the police force that they will give first before they give to other levels. So the distribution will take a little while. Depends on how the funding goes. It's not an overnight thing.
Now let me ask a question. Says to enter a gold shop in Margarita, you have to enter high six of two secure doors, like a jail. But you can buy gun like a pair of shoes. When you buy the gun, you gotta have somebody run it to Trinidad, right? So even the small man group.
The Bennies and them bringing it. They're bringing it. You are buying it for somebody to bring it, to ship it for you. Guns coming in many ways. There's not one way coming. But I'm just telling them little fishing boat bringing it. They're just coming in big containers.
Gary, hear what Tommy Mohammed say. Tommy Mohammed say, hold up, no, not that one. Not that one I want to put up. Tommy Mohammed say, Lana says she has her own body cam, she phone. Hold up. Okay, Chris Watson says it's easy to bring in fireworks and guns in exchange for human trafficking and organs. What? Really?
Listen,
Okay.
we are 79 miles from Venezuela. All right, them boats come across there so quick in the dark that before the Coast Guard really catch up to them, because most of the time the Coast Guard is way out of range. Them done in and out of the country. How do you think so much of Venezuelan come across?
But Gary, here's a point by Tommy, right? He only wants to lock up the small man. Don't you agree with that?
You think he only wants to lock up the small man?
No. Tommy Mohammed is saying he only wants to lock up the small man.
It might be seem so because the small man might have less resources. It might seem so. The small man might have less resources to manipulate things and to move about than the guy who owns a bigger boat and a ship and running in a private jet. But that's why the small man getting catch first. But the small man doing things is not just everybody say catch the big fish. The amount of things the small man doing. The small man wanna be a big man. There's a wanna be
But
big man down there.
Gary, the reason why they call him a small man is because he's small, right? But the reason why they call him a big fish, the reason why they call him a big fish because you're big in the dance.
But
Gary,
a lot of
Ellis
them wanna
says
be big fish, so they operate.
Ellis says we have body cams already. But if we have body cams, we will use it. With the body cams on them.
There's so much factions and things happening in Trinidad and Tobago. There's not one grouping of activity that's taking place. So, but again, we need to work. We need the national security team to get their act together.
Gary, let me ask you a question. Somebody asking this question. Not asking this question, but it's a statement. Tommy Mohammed is saying, is Gary Griffith part of the 1%? I don't know, I'm asking. Because Philip Alexander admitted that he's Syrian, right? He admitted that. And he admitted that he has privileges in Trinidad, right?
He's the lower half of the 1%.
Who's that, Gary Griffith?
No, Philip. Philip is the lower half. He's the lower half of the But what do 1% have to do with the 99% creating their own problems?
So Gary, you're blaming the problems created by the 1% and the 99%?
Who's shooting on each other in the street?
But that's why I'm asking you. You see exactly my point. Are you blaming what the 1% is doing on the 99%?
Well, who is shooting on each other in the street? The 1%?
Who is bringing in all the ammunition in Trinidad and Tobago?
The 1% is not bringing in all the ammunition. They are bringing it for the black boy in the street.
No, Gary.
The 1% is not bringing the guns for me and you.
Gary, that was a question, you know.
Yeah,
Who
but what I'm telling you
is bringing in the ammunition in Trinidad and Tobago? It wasn't a statement, it was a question.
There is not one category of people bringing the guns. We have to understand that. There's different levels of people doing their thing. Everybody want to be a big boy. Everybody want to be a gangster. And they want to do this, and they're making the connection. It's a little teenagers running their whole gang.
You know, Gary, something, I could not believe this. And Ellis just brought up this point. I thought I was on Venus or Mars somewhere. Ellis says, containers come into this country and they unpack those containers at the business compound. Think about that. Gary, I'm lying to you. I was going down Henry Street and I see them unpacking this container. And I asked somebody, because I see a custom officer standing by the door of the container. One custom officer. And people unpacking it. And I asked a partner, I said, wait now, boss. I said, wait now. That is a container that they're unpacking there with one custom officer there. He said, boss, what's wrong with you? This is Trinidad and Tobago. I could not believe that, Gary. How? Well, maybe, Ellis, maybe there's a possibility that the container went through an x-ray before it got to the business on Henry Street.
Most definitely that is the case.
Right, you see? So that's just part of my critical thinking there, Ellis. So there's the possibility, Tommy. There's also the possibility, Tommy, that that container may not be one of the containers that was picked to be x-rayed. Right?
No, but
do they x-ray all the containers that come? All of them?
I know the equipment is there to x-ray all that leaves here.
That leaves?
I know about all the containers that leave the US.
Or leave the US? I'm talking about from Trinidad.
They have the equipment to x-ray all too. And they should.
Yeah. But Tommy, you're saying they have the equipment. I'm asking that. Sometimes, Tommy, for example, if you order something from China through Alibaba, right? And what they do, they tend to pick certain things to see if you're ordering counterfeit stuff from China. And if they pick your package and it's counterfeit, they seize it. So they do random searches, random. Because they can't search everything. And I'm asking the question is that, I don't know, maybe in Trinidad, random containers are x-rayed. And if you're working on the wharf, so to speak, or in Point Lisas, right? You know, random, they don't really have to be random, right? Random could be selective. And when the container gets to whatever business it's going to, and the custom officer stands there, again, selective searches. I'm just throwing it out. I don't know. But Ellis, that was a good point you brought up because I saw it with my own eyes. And I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it. You know? Tommy, somebody said I'd like to hear Tommy's opinion on this, please.
Well, Slim, you know I used to have a shipping business.
Right.
And out of the United States.
Mm-hmm.
And all the containers that we sent used to, it wasn't always so in the beginning, but it got to the point where now that every container that's sent goes through the X-ray.
Mm-hmm.
So they look for certain things. When they X-ray the containers, they're looking for guns and ammunition, and they can identify that.
Well, what if it's coming from another country?
Well, I'm not sure about those other countries, but I know about from here.
I'm going to switch device. I'm going to log out and you're going to have to bring me back in.
Okay, no problem. So, Tommy Mohammed says, and I heard about this too, our extras machine in Trinidad not working.
Well, that doesn't surprise me. And if it's convenient.
I'm telling you. Tommy, Nutscake wants to see. Nutscake's asking a question. Do you think it's the 1% or is the little guy on the block who are importing drugs and guns?
The little guy on the block most likely don't have the resources to do that. And somebody has to finance his operation.
Okay.
Except if he gets credit from the supplier.
So this makes sense then. Yeah, we had this incident where a container left this country with juice and ended up in Canada. Remember, it ended up in Canada with what in Canada? so therefore, when it leaves Trinidad and Tobago, they ain't got no X-ray. Or Ellis.
The juice was here in the United States.
No, there was one that left Trinidad. There's one that left Trinidad too.
The one that left Trinidad from it wasn't from SM Jalil or one of those companies with orange juice.
Yeah,
and it
it's
winded up
alleged.
in, and
Yeah,
it,
it's alleged.
no, it was true that there was drugs in the container that came from Trinidad.
And what was the decision? Anybody get locked up?
That was that was very interesting.
Anybody make
When
a jail? All the time in
to this,
chat now. Anybody make a jail? Who make a
not
jail?
that not that I've heard of. I know that when they point finger back at the source in Trinidad, the source denied knowing anything about it, and the government didn't do anything to them.
Mm-hmm.
At that time it was the partnership wasn't in power, if I remember carefully.
Okay. So um I mean, we have to Chris Wharton said, if people have evidence, take it to Gary. Ron says, Beatum is a paradise in comparison to the slums outside of Caracas toll booth. You know, I ain't gonna lie to all you. I went San Diego one time, and I went, we crossed the border to Tijuana. Or not cakes and nobody was caught. Imagine that. Containers leave Trinidad and Tobago with drugs in it, and it end up in Canada, and nobody can get caught. Eh? Think we real? Nobody. Yeah, as I read that comment there by Run DMC, and we went San Diego, right? And Tijuana is right next to San Diego. Tijuana, you could cross the border into Mexico. And Tommy, I ain't gonna lie to you and Gary boy. When we crossed the border, me and my wife went, boy, I never see people. I didn't know they had people that were that poor in this world, boy. Seriously. Them people look, oh God, boy. It was sad, boy. It was sad. Sad, you know.
So,
San Diego is one of the cleanest towns, cleanest state, cleanest communities in this country. And when you go right next door, boy, Tijuana right next door, just cross over the border into Tijuana, and some of the poorest people, boy. Poor people. Because you know there are cars coming back and forth. That was heart rendering, boy.
yep, it was a reality check too.
Yeah.
Can imagine.
Yeah. Haley says Beatum is better than Kingston, Philadelphia. That place is crackhead haven in Wall Street. Boy. Yeah.
Sometimes you think you poor in Trinidad, but when you really see what poor is.
Gary, true, you know. When you see what poor is, you say, boy, I'm going to take that poor in Trinidad every day, you know.
One thing I know, you might have one suit of pants, but you never suffer for food in Trinidad.
3 square meals, boy. 3 square meals. Cheese sticks and some that orange juice sweeten up some big boys and case M. What do you chew that, boy? I tell you.
But when you think about it, they obviously were getting away with it for a long time. That time they got caught.
Mm-hmm.
You talking about the orange juice can?
Yeah.
Nobody go to jail for that, guy.
Nobody.
Nobody.
No.
None.
Up to now.
Nada, not, zero, zilch, not. It's like paying for the West Indies and opening and making a duck. Ellis LeBoy says, Tommy, you might get picked up, but I have those that could get away. Thanks, Tommy. These little black boys can't even buy a proper jockey shorts. They could bring anything. Correct is right.
That's what I think.
Correct is right.
No. That is not an understatement. It's a lot of boys doing their thing there. Let me tell you, like I tell
Them
you,
can't bring nothing.
we just a few miles off the coast. This guy they killed, what they call him, the junior Dolce in Trinidad, right? You see what they do?
Mm-hmm.
Them had their own boats and they went and robbed the fishermen. So it doesn't take, it's a matter of minutes that you could be across between Venezuela and Trinidad, and them fellas bringing the stuff there. They had the thing organized.
Gary,
It's not just the big boy bringing things. Them people talking nonsense.
Gary, them little fellas is a drop in the bucket.
You and no way to drop in the pocket. If you go down and really see how organized some of them little fellas, you think that they're little.
Gary, they are organized after them fellas give them this stuff.
Them fellas coming up the ranks, boy. They're coming up the ranks. I tell you, it is not one category of things happening in Trinidad. The situation is being dealt there with various categories of people doing things. You know, it's competition. They're competing against each other now. I think they're killing each other too. It's competition till 4 and all kind of thing.
But wait.
They're connected. They're not like me and you playing stick him up with a piece of bicycle tube and a cover wood.
No, Gary boy. I don't see. Tommy Mohammed says, wait, only which one is it? And we almost to the top of the hour to close just now. Tommy Mohammed said, but a businessman got locked up for that drugs. Which businessman? Eh?
I never in the US news about it either.
No, but which businessman got locked up? Tommy Mohammed, which businessman got locked up? I don't recall anybody getting locked up, eh?
We also had an incident in England.
Besides Trinidad, me see no US published not neither.
We also had an incident in England where somebody drank a PAD and died.
Oh yeah.
That was actually liquid cocaine instead of PAD or whatever it was supposed to be. Yeah.
No, I didn't see that. Haley says, Wall Street, have you seen the new series? See, it is about what happens with life after the COVID virus. No, what's the name of that, Haley? Or you see that? Haley says, have you seen the new series? See, it's about what happens with life after the COVID virus. After you get the virus or after you get the jab? Which one? Huh? All right, let me quickly go in these things here. Albert Montano says, this is not true. Albert Montano says, this is not true. Some containers are selected to check. Ooh, Haley, boy. Haley, that's a ledge. Yeah, Haley.
They might be doing random checking. You know, like here in the US, all the customs just pick out and choose. Like I've seen that done in the container yard.
Hey, Ellis, hey, Gary. Ellis says, Gary, you win, boy. Take win. I don't know which Gary. I don't know which Gary Ellis talking about there, Gary. Guns don't come in containers. Chris Watson says, guns don't come in containers. It's come on air cargo.
That's nonsense. The gun coming in more than one way. It's not just
several ways.
Or air cargo. They come in through customs in the airport. They remember they have caught some people involved in things right in the airport too. So I tell you, quite a bit of these guns when them boys have on the street, they come in a container, coming right across the border. Them people dealing with each other back and forth. You remember I used to get the Venezuelan Pico plant when we was growing up? Yeah, well, it ain't no any Pico coming there, more than any Pico coming now.
But Gary, your boy, no, not that one. This one here, Gary. Businesses backing your boy too bad, you know?
Obviously, because they have
more business do back Gary, boy.
They have the ability to defend themselves before they didn't.
And Gary, why more business backing him, boy? I couldn't Trinidad and Tobago say she leaving Trinidad, boy. Nikki Crosby, boy.
Nikki Crosby? Why?
Yeah, Nikki Crosby says she relocating to Ohio, boy.
Because of what?
She said for for job reasons, but she husband is in Ohio. But she says she relocating to Ohio. We go try to see if we can get Nikki Crosby.
I thought she leaving because of Gary Gibbon.
Well,
he's originally from Orange, you know. Yeah, Jerry.
Yeah. She says she had enough of that, boy. And Gary, it's about next fella talking about Gary Griffith appointment, you know, to act as commissioner, you know, the appointment to act, they say is illegal, you know. There's all kind of thing going on here. And not only that, but answer my call having a berry farm in Tobago, and nobody in Tobago they know about it. Well, they think this thing easy. Answer my call get a berry farm.
Organic.
Berries. Organic, large fresh berry farm in Tobago that the people of Tobago had no clue about. No clue. But, okay, quick course. Let's go for a quick station identification. And when we come back, we're going to close. It's In the Village to the DAG Triplets on WZYE 95.9 FM. Of course, we come to you every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday from 7 to 9 p.m. And folks, if you don't hear the storm, she's in Chicago at a spoken word exhibition where she's presenting spoken word. We wish her the best of luck. And she's going to be back with us next Tuesday, right here in the village with the DAG Triplets at WZYE 95.9 FM. Stick and stay. Don't go nowhere. We'll be right
You're
back.
listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE 95.9 FM, the most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area. Broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey, the most influential name in Caribbean radio, WZYE 95.9 FM.
95.9. Ellis, one thing, right? The berry farm is not going to be run by no small farmers. Answer McCall has gotten the contract in order to do that berry farm in Tobago. So small farmers will be sitting on the sideline watching Answer McCall collect as usual. That's what it is. Right? Nothing for the small man.
You don't see in the history of our country, the government never works with the farmers. They always work against them.
Hmm. Nothing for the small man. Nothing.
Dr. Raleigh said he give it to the rich so he can fall off the table. The crumbs go fall on me.
Yeah, Albert Montana said only a few containers come from the United States. No, there's quite a few containers that come, right, Tommy?
Many.
Yeah, a lot of containers. I know, because them guys who ship things to Trinidad, they buy a container and they just basically, right, Tommy, they use space in that container for one set of different, all different things in that container, right?
That's right. All the NDLCCs.
Yeah. Yeah, Ellis, that's bad news for farmers, boy. Only think it's easy. People in Tobago don't even know about it, boy.
Speaking of container, you know that in the 80s, I believe, Sealand wanted to develop the whole port for we at no expense to we. From Port of Spain come down all the way to San Bernardino. That all that Point Lisa's area, they was going to construct it so we could be an inter-exchange shipping port for them. You know how much money we'd have benefit with that? Government in Trinidad, the big will shut it down. Didn't go away. Sealand was going to build it at their expense, not our expense.
See, since COVID, a lot of businesses really were affected with the shipping here in the United States, but I would tend to think things would be getting better sooner.
Now, the trade ministry is trying to improve export readiness. So for people in Trinidad and Tobago wants to export, especially small and micro enterprise, there's this new institution in Trinidad, right, through the trade ministry, going to try to help exporters of small and micro businesses. And the aim is launched by the Trinidad and Tobago Coalition of Service Industries. So they are going to try to help small and macro enterprises with respect to export. I don't know what they're going to
Micro,
export.
not macro, micro.
Micro. My bad. Micro. Yeah. I don't know what they're going to export, but that's what they say. Right? But that's a good initiative, though. That's a good initiative. Right? Let me see this one. Hold on, man. Hold on a minute. Here it is. Let me bring that up. I'll get rid of this.
Did 72% or TT $115 billion to TNT's gross domestic product. The sector employs 85% of the country's total labor force. These statistics came from Acting Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Trade and Industry, Aileen Allen Ovid.
The ministry is currently developing a national services policy and energy services export strategy, which aims to provide a comprehensive plan to promote the exports of our energy services providers and can play a key role in the diversification of our exports.
She says some of the areas for development include tourism, cultural entertainment, and ICT.
The ministry is also working with our CARICOM partners to develop a regional services strategy to strengthen governance arrangements and to help build the competitiveness of 7 subsectors prioritized by the region.
Mrs. Allen Ovid indicates preliminary work is also underway to set up a service sector unit in the Tobago House of Assembly.
Trinidad and Tobago has also approached CARICOM to consider negotiation of a possible services agreement with Colombia in the first instance as an additional step to expand market access opportunities for our service exporters.
Mrs. Allen Ovid was speaking at Friday's launch of the TTCSI's Gateway to Trade Accelerator Program. It's a 9-month export readiness project, which includes a train the trainer element. Terry-Ann Brown Campbell, TTT News.
That's a good thing, though. That's a good thing. You know? I mean, sometimes we don't think anything good happening, but there are some good things happening, right? And this year is just an Express editorial where they're talking about what's going on with crime in Trinidad and Tobago is that Gary Griffith is saying that there's a reduction in crime, but he's not making a statement that the reduction in crime could be because of the state of emergency and the pandemic that was put in place. So they had an editorial on that. So Gary, there's good and there's different things going on with your boy Gary Griffith, right? And then there's this 2.4 payout that the government received regarding rough weather in August. So the government received a $2.4 million, which is about 14 million TT payout that should help with the rough weather that happened in Trinidad and Tobago. So people should be seeing some type of money coming soon, right?
Well,
so
let's see how it trickle down. Let's see how it trickle down. But I think, like I tell you, it might seem that we are not making an effect, but a lot of what we're doing here is kind of putting them in a position where they have to rethink their action. So we just have to mount up the pressure. That's all.
Yeah. Little things happening. I'm going through this kind of quick here. Alison Hines was on The Breakfast Club. The Breakfast Club is one of the big black shows here in the United States, and we believe that soon in the village with the DAG Triplets, going to be on par with The Breakfast Club. And Alison Hines was the first soca artist to be on The Breakfast Club, and she shouted out Kes and Marshall Montano, and she shouted out a few other soca entertainers who she believes should be a part of The Breakfast Club. So that was a good thing to see Alison Hines on The Breakfast Club, and she shouted out Marshall Montano and other people. So that was a real good thing, right? And I think we do this already. The IBDB we got a 1 million loan from the IDB, which is a good thing. We saw that already. And I'm just kind of going through the news here kind of quick for you all. Because sometimes, when we have guests, we just can't go through, the news that we have here. There's one other thing I wanted to put up here. All right. This is another thing. This person went, to the hospital. And let me remove that chat there, that thing there. Hold on, so you could see it. Give me 1 minute. Let me remove that. When I put these things up there, okay, here we go. Right? It said, the person says, this hospital is for vaccinated people, right? He said, this hospital is for the vaccinated. Not to worry. The staff here are Facebook and Twitter medical experts that you already know and trust, right? So it's just a meme, right? Whether you're vaccinated or not vaccinated, you know, I mean, sometimes I saw these sitting inside of here, and you know, we just need to get rid of them. All right. So I think that's all the news. And let me just go over here real quick. All right. Back to comedian.
David! Two white man and all are not give you song. Hey, got to raise the hand around. Hey, well, then the beat and I go. I don't know what it's saying. Does anybody know what the hammer gun? Hammer gun. Let me tell you what's going on. Does anybody know what the hammer gun? Somebody tell me where the hammer gone. Tell me, wait. What? Royalties.
Yeah, I tell you, you know, they just do we all kind of thing, you know.
Yeah, that's some good in it.
What is he good to me?
At least
the man ain't get no money for that. Eh?
He can demand.
Demand? Yeah.
Is it being broadcast on television? Where's it being broadcast?
Yeah.
They have to pay. They have to pay. Once his songs are registered, they have to pay.
Mm-hmm.
They have to pay. They have to. You have to pay to play, no?
Yeah. We had to pay.
That's the rule. That's the rule.
Mm-hmm.
He has to get his royalties.
Hey Tommy, Mohammed, good night as well. Good night. I know. Ellis says it have people getting everything while some remain hungry. The PM never empowered the people that supported them. They only want to give jobs, and more jobs. Ellis, I fully agree with that. Full 100. 100. Cheese steak, good night. Full 100. You ain't gonna get no back talk for me on that one. Not at all. Anyway, folks, again, it's been a pleasure. Of course, back with us next Tuesday is Diana the Storm, and we're gonna find out how Diana did there in Chicago with the spoken word competition that she's in there, and I'm sure she did a fantastic job. And so, Nadia, can you put? Hold on. Oh no! Nadia put it last time. Chris Watson, before you go, can you put closing comments in the chat? Chris Watson, closing comments. We like some people to close the chat, and Run the MC. If you want to put closing comments in the chat, you can put closing comments as well. Okay, so Run the MC and Chris Watson, can you put closing comments in the chat? All right, Chris Watson. And if they don't, Tommy Mohammed, put closing comment in the chat. Haley says Wall Street play this Dr. Creep pandemic. What is that, Haley? I don't know, everyone. Nadia, good night. Good night. Haley, tell me that way you want me to play Dr. Creep. Okay, Chris, thanks for the closing comment. Run the MC, run. I really don't know what all them emojis is? Can you like put some words? Cause I don't know. I'm not as good as you with emojis. Ellen said, Diana, come back, please. Wall Street make me feel sleepy tonight. I glad I put you to sleep, boy. I glad. I sleepy because Diana ain't buffing many other buff me. That's what it is. What like when Diana buff me? Okay. Is a song from 2013. Dr. Creep. All you know that song?
I don't know.
Tommy, you know that song?
Nope.
Let me search for it real quick there. Dr. Creep. Dr. LWP. Fitting. You know, Haley, I don't think we want to play that one, huh? We might get a copyright hit for that one. Yeah, we just get copyright hits. If we play that one, we might get a copyright hit. Oh God. Ron, for the last time, if you're gonna put some closing comments in the chat, Ron says, let me put it up on the thing. I really miss Diana because she picks up for me when they hate her in the case. I ain't saying nothing. Hey, Tommy and Gary, did I say anything to Ron tonight?
No, you gave him love tonight. You gave him love.
I ain't saying nothing to the fella. Nothing. Look.
But we know he missed Diana. He would have.
Yeah. I know he missed Diana. He loved Diana. He could tell Diana only love words and all kind of. He still didn't put no comments in the chat net. So Tommy Mohammed put his comments. Who did I say? Let me see again. Tommy, and I started to write these things down.
Tommy and Haley, I think. Is it Haley? Yeah.
No. Haley put it last time. Tommy,
yeah.
I said run DMC. I said run 32, run. And one other person I said. Okay. Nadia put it. Oh. Tommy Mohammed, put closing comments in the chat, please. Right, Chris Watson. Yeah, Chris Watson. Okay, folks. Tommy, go ahead. Closing comments.
Let me start with this one. A satisfied life is better than a successful life because our success is measured by others, but our satisfaction is measured by our own soul, mind, and heart. And of course, I got to give you one on love. This one on love is by Dr. Seuss. He says, you know you're in love when you can't fall asleep because reality is finally better than your dreams. This is from your love child, and I want to wish you a very happy rest of the weekend and a happy Labor Day to all those local who are listening. Talk to you on Tuesday, God willing.
Thank you, Tommy. So never be afraid to raise your voice for honesty and truth and compassion against injustice, lying, and greed. If people all the world will do this, it will change the earth. From where I sit, this is it. The clock on the wall said that's all I like to say, but I've got to go. Remember, hard work beats talent when talent does not work hard. And for every 60 seconds of anger, you lose 1 minute of happiness. Gary?
Yeah, I'm going to say it was an interesting night, the conversation, and I would like to encourage the people in their community in Trinidad and Tobago to build their own community patrols, do things to help yourself. You can't just rely on the government to do everything. So with that, I will say good night until we meet again.
Thank you, Gary. Chris Watson says, answer, we need to stand up for something or end up with nothing. Tommy Mohammed says, tonight's program was truly educational. I enjoyed it. Everybody contributed well. One other person.
And one more thing, 100% support for Gary Griffith as commissioner.
All right, so Ron DMC says, okay, I think you all are really doing a great job. Keep up the good work. Very informative and entertaining. WZYE TV. Ron, thank you very kindly. We appreciate it. Or he changed his mind. He say he lie. Yeah, Rose, thank you so much. Good night to all of you. We really appreciate all of you. And we're gonna go out tonight with what did I have in here? No, we're not gonna go out tonight with that one. Let's go out tonight with Iowa George. Yeah, because we have to be kind of careful, folks, in how we playing the different songs, because YouTube give us some copyright hits, and when they gave us copyright hits, we because we had that one. Here we go.
Think it over, think it again. Listen, if you want to see Rash Shorty, Chalk Dust, any one of them, tell them what George say. Think it over, think it again. I sit home listening to my radio. They say they're going and jam some calypso. They say they have something brand new from Rash Shorty. So I sit down patiently listening to he. But when I hear the man start back talking preacher, and then he start to diss up at Jala, is when I hear he start calling Iowa George name. I hold my head and start to ball, not my name again. 3 years ago he say, Iowa, you singing Tata. Last year he come back with the same Tata. It look like Shorty I running out of lyrics, and he want me to teach him a few new tricks. I is the man who sing boom boom 3, 4, 5, 6 times, and every time I sing it the people does whine. This Shorty never used to treat young guys so not so crude. I will that teach him how to gamble and eat some food. Think it over, think it again, Mr. Shorty. Think it over, think it again, Hail Selassie. Think it over, think it again, cause everybody knows I could sing Kaiso, the party side of me. That is how I does maintain my family. Think it over, think it again, Mr. Chalk, just think it over, think it again. They're trying to tell people I cannot sing calypso. It's only boom boom and do the Iowa, I know. But I's the man who sing times hard.
I want to invoke the doctor and then write him a letter. I want to ask him a question if he knew what was going on. The other day I was passing, I hear people complaining. He is the man with the answer, but he quite over yonder. They say, snake in the palisade. Snake in the palisade. Snake in the palisade. And they biting hard. Snake in the palisade. I'm sorry for Trinidad. Big snakes in the country, and they was them happy. When they're making the racket, They just dress up in nice jacket, some big fat mackerel, drink out the oil in the oil well. I don't know how they found the key, but I hear they empty the treasury. Snake in the palisade, snake in the palisade, snake in the palisade, and the biting hard. Snake in the palisade, destroy you Trinidad. I want to question the hunters who does hunt down the squatters. They just cut down your hammer. They don't care if you sleep on rock. Why them snakes in the country don't in their belly. I want to ask what causing that, but I'm afraid they should talk me that. I tell them you slave in the palisade, snake in the palisade, snake in the palisade, and the biting hard. Snake in the palisade. I'm sorry for Trinidad. I hear me the woman. The country in danger. Them snakes have no feelings. They just bite up anything. I hear they bite up the money and have the country in jeopardy. They bite up the pipeline. No water for the swine. I don't know what they will do next. They bite up a whole racing complex. Snake in the palisade. Snake in the palisade. Snake in the palisade. And the biting hard. Snake in the palisade. I'm sorry for Trinidad. I'm there, I'm a hammer. Do I am, do I am, do I am.